night, you're looking at Sylvester Stadium in Berrien Springs, Michigan. Neutral turf for a pair of Southwest Michigan rivals as the Buchanan Bucks take on the Niles Vikings on this edition of the 46th game of the week. And with my fellow Hall of Famer Bo Hutt, it's Chuck Freeby. Bob Nagel has the week off. The Buchanan Bucks looked awfully good in week one. They put 46 on the board against Saugatuck and unveiled a dynamite combination in the passing game of Connor Legault and Thomas Van Overberg.
Yeah, when you look at a team like that, week one, you throw up 46 points, almost 50 points in the first week. You're like, man, their offense is really going. And they have a lot of speed, and Legault's able to find those receivers, especially when you're playing on a neutral field that's turf. That speed's going to help.
And Mark Fry's team has an awful lot of motivation after losing to Niles last season.
It would probably be a lie to say they didn't have this game circled all year, but we'll see what happens, and we're excited for the game. No, that's definitely the case for some of our young men, and I think they've worked really hard for this game, so we're really excited to see what they can do.
Scott Shaw and Niles still looking for win number one after being blanked by Sturgis in week one, 15-0. That score maybe not indicative of how close that game really was, because Niles was their own worst enemy in that game. Maybe the difference between week one and week two is massive for them.
Yeah, I think the biggest adjustments with the triple option offense is you really have to sustain the drives and really finish them when you get down there, because you're trying to run clock, and when you get down inside the red zone, you got to finish. But I think the biggest opponent against Scott Shaw is their defense. They really have to step up against this Buchanan team, and I spoke to Scott Shaw about that.
Putting up 50 points. You know, they last year they threw it around a lot. Last week they were in anywhere from empty to wishbone. So it was a lot to prepare for in a short week. So we just hope we were able to get, kids lined up in the right spot and not have anybody run free.
This is a little bit different than a lot of rivalries we see, Bo, because this is a big school. 800 is the enrollment in Niles versus about an enrollment of 400 at Buchanan. The series is played out in such a way as you would expect, the big school pounding the small school. But you can understand Buchanan's motivation, even though they've got that 1-0 record tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just the bragging rights. I mean, these two schools are less than 8 miles apart. So, I mean, you got a lot of kids going to the same church, a lot of the same functions, family functions. You probably got a lot of relatives at each school. So there's going to be a lot of rivalry there. And I think that's what really gets it going and gets that big rivalry between the two schools.
And that's why we had to find a neutral field for this family feud tonight. It's Niles and Buchanan up in Berrien Springs. We've got our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show and the Jordan Automotive Keys to win next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Interra Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome, everybody, to the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show. As we go over our Jordan Automotive keys to win for tonight's game, we'll start with the visitors from Buchanan, and they are led by their quarterback and an outstanding linebacker by the name of Connor Legault. The 5'10", 185-pound senior threw for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns and also rushed for 59 yards. In the win over Saugatuck last week, his favorite target was Thomas Van Overberg. His best friend, the 6'3", 160-pound senior, caught 7 passes for 255 yards and 3 touchdowns. Suffice to say, he'll get the attention of the Niles secondary. Tonight, the keys to win for Mark Fry and the Bucks.
The keys to win tonight for the Bucks. First off, they need to stop the run. The triplet option that Niles runs, you have to be patient on defense, read your keys, and make sure you don't over-pursue. Protect against pressure. Niles is going to bring some pressure on the defensive side. They really need to protect Legault, give him some time, and distribute the ball on offense. That's make sure they don't key on one receiver.
For the Niles Vikings, they have a very young team, and one of their most talented players is Sam Rucker. Rucker is the leading rusher on the team with 45 yards last week. He is also a terrific defensive end. In fact, he forced 2 turnovers against Buchanan last year and returned both of them for touchdowns. They'll also need a big game from Julian Means-Flewell at 5'11", 185 pounds, and the junior. Keys to win for Scott Shaw and the Vikings.
The keys to win tonight, they need to finish drives. They need to make sure they get down there and they score, eliminate penalties, and they need to play with their hair on fire like there's no tomorrow.
And we are ready for kickoff here in Berrien Springs. Buchanan in the white, Niles in the blue. Leland Payne will do the kicking here for Buchanan. And we are underway. It's a short pooch kick that'll be fielded by one of the upbacks at the 20-yard line. And returning the ball for Niles and making a nice return out of it is Logan Olson. No, that's not Logan Olson, excuse me. Olson wears 22.
A quick check on the uniforms for tonight, brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the Niles Vikings, wearing navy blue jersey and pants, gold helmets and numbers. The visiting team, the Buchanan Bucks, wearing white pants, white jersey, white helmets with maroon numbers and trim. These teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Product at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Talon Brawley brings the Niles Vikings up to the 29-yard line. The line of scrimmage, triple option attack. They hand it off and a flag thrown. And that is not unusual for Niles, who had 11 penalties for 65 yards last week. And they started with another infraction as we get to meet our officials for tonight's game. And working the game from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, we have Tim Hankins working with John Medeiros, Jim Reinert, Alex Walker, and Max Warner. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Niles after the 5-yard walk-off. And boy, right off the bat, the kinds of things that plagued Scott Shaw's team last week rear their ugly head again.
Yeah, keys to win and eliminate penalties. Number 2 on the list, you know. I mean, you got to make sure that offense, it's a tricky offense to run, but you got to make sure you key on that snap.
So it's 1st and 15. Brawley keeps it. No, he gives it off to the fullback, Paul Hess, and he's got room to run. Look at Hess go. He's going to go the distance, 76 yards, no flags, touchdown Vikings. And you get another look, courtesy of Frame Products. And once Hess broke through the line of scrimmage, there was nobody in the secondary to get him. What a job by that young Niles offensive line to free Hess. And the Vikings do something they couldn't do the whole game last week. In just 19 seconds, they get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we talked about explosive plays before the game, and if Niles was going to be able to stay with Buchanan because they had a lot of explosive plays last week, well, right here, first drive, big explosive 76-yard run.
Neither one of these teams likes to kick extra points. It's Brawley, the quarterback, on the keeper. Did he make it in? Yes, he did. 2-point conversion. And just 19 seconds into this one, Niles grabs an early 8-0 lead. Well, this is pretty much the way the series has gone over the years, folks, because since they first met in 1950, Niles has dominated the series, 25-6-3, and they blanked Buchanan a year ago, 26-0. I think they've got to be a little bit stunned over on the Buchanan sidelines. By the way, the weather tonight, Chamber of Commerce right out of Southwest Michigan, 84 degrees at game time. A gentle zephyr coming out of the west at 7 miles an hour, and there's not a chance one of those big cumulus clouds brings us any rain tonight.
What a great start for Niles. No points last week. We talked about sustaining drives. Well, instead of sustaining drives and finishing, just have a big play.
And that was the one thing they didn't show that they could do last week against Sturgis, is have that kind of explosion. That's what we thought would give Buchanan a big advantage tonight. But now, as you look at Scott Shaw there on the sidelines for Niles, here's really the first punch in the mouth of the season for Mark Fry's team. How's his squad going to handle adversity?
Yeah, and I think with their offense that they have, they're able to put up points, not at will, but really in big chunks and stuff to the nature of that. So I think they're able to handle it well. We'll see here as they get the ball for the first time here in the first half.
That's Ezra Vance, the 5'10 senior, about to kick it for the Vikings. Leland Payne, the deep man for Buchanan. Vance with a high spinner that Payne takes back at his 1. Good special teams coverage by the Vikings, and Payne is spun down at the 15-yard line. Terrific coverage that time by Niles. So they got down the field in a hurry. So Connor Legault will bring out the Buchanan Bucks on offense. Legault in his 3rd year as a starter, and twice he has been an all-conference selection.
Buchanan takes over 1st and 10.
By the way, that was Isaiah Stevens on the tackle on the return for Niles. Legault operates from the shotgun. Nico Finn, the running back, next to him tonight because Patrick Lavery's out with an injury, and it's Finn spinning and only picking up a yard on the play as Niles had great penetration that time from Isaiah Moore. We meet the Buchanan offense. We told you about Legault and Van Overberg. Lavery, the leading rusher, is out tonight, so Nico Finn takes his spot. Jackson Seddon and Dylan Oatsfall are night's options in the passing game. The Anderson brothers hold down the offensive line along with senior center Owen Koopmeyer. They'll spot it back behind the 15-yard line, 2nd and 11. Nico Finn again and again. No blocking from Buchanan as Niles got great penetration that time from Paul Hess, the sophomore linebacker. And we meet the Viking defense. You already saw Moore make a nice stop. Sam Rucker is a standout on that defense, as is Hess. And in the secondary, which will get tested tonight, keep your eyes on Julian Means-Fluellen, the 5'11 junior.
Niles wanting to bring pressure early and often, really to put pressure on Legault and really the running game as well. Here you see him going 5 wide now. Do they bring that pressure and really try to have him get rid of it early?
They come with a blitz. Legault did get rid of it early, and Thomas Van Overberg had nowhere to go. Corralled by a swarm of blue jerseys. Thomas Van Overberg brought down. And look at all the penetration that Niles was able to get. So 4th and 12 in a punting situation here for the Bucks. Legault is also the punter, so he'll just drop back and boot one out of there. And a nice catch made for Niles by Alex Cole. And Cole still on his feet. And a flag comes in behind the play.
Yeah, it looked like he lowered his head. I don't know if they're going to actually call spearing on him. He actually lowered his head as the runner.
Well, let's take another look here on the Frame Products replay and see if we can find out exactly what happened as the officials discuss it down at the 32-yard line. And here's what Bo was talking about, the head-to-head contact, but initiated by Alex Cole.
Yeah, I think that's what they're having the big discussion about right now. They still haven't decided whether or not it's going to be on him or if they're just going to wave it off.
Well, remember, too, Cole is the starting cornerback tonight, so if they were to lose him on a targeting call here, that would be a huge blow for the Niles Vikings. We'll see what happens. It is a personal foul, and they call it against Buchanan.
I think it's one of those where you see it happen and you initially just assume it's the defender that did caused the contact.
And Mark Fry is irate over on the other side, and I can't blame him after seeing the replay. So it's 1st and 10 at the 16. A great stop by the Viking defense, and now Talon Brawley and company in position already up 8-0. It's Hess again, and this time he's only able to get about 3 yards before Dean Roberts wrestles him down. We get a chance to meet the Niles offense. We didn't have a chance to earlier. Yeah, I think Paul Hess might have a great game at fullback tonight. Sam Rucker, the leading rusher on the team, coming into this one. 2 freshmen at the guard spots, Chase Brawley and Brandon Hamilton for Scott Shaw's offense.
Buchanan's defense better on that read on that the start of this series. That last series on that big run, they didn't have a very good read, and they over-pursued. That's what really opened that hole up for the Niles offense.
2nd and 8. Brawley kept it himself, mainly because he didn't really have any options. And he only picks up a yard on the play before Leland Payne brings him down. And let's check this Buchanan defense for you. Nico Finn was supposed to start tonight because he's moved to running back. Payne is going to get a lot of time. Dean Roberts anchoring that defensive line, and in the secondary, keep your eyes on Jackson Seddon. The 6'2 senior had 2 tackles for loss last week. Niles looking at a 3rd and 7 from the 13. It's an end around and means Fluellen. It did not fool Leland Payne, who gets back there and stops him for a loss of 4.
Great job of holding your ground and understanding what your read is on that play.
So now 4th down, and I doubt that Scott Shaw is thinking about a field goal here. It would be about a 35-yarder.
No, especially the way their defense played the last series. I think they really feel they're down here. They got them pinned down. They're going to go ahead and go for it. Hopefully they pick up the 1st down, if not the touchdown. And if not, you're still pinned down inside the 20.
Looking at a 4th and 11 here. And Niles was only 1 of 7 passing the ball last week. So this doesn't exactly play to the strength of the Vikings. Brawley wants to throw, rolls right, throws over the middle, and it's knocked down in the end zone. And while the defensive back, Legault, is upset that he didn't get the pick, they'll get the ball out at the 17-yard line. 7:25 to go, 1st quarter. Niles, like my golf game, puts a score snowman on the board on the first one. 8-0. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. 1st and 10 for the Niles Vikings, and not going much better than it did on the first possession. Bucks pick up a yard here on the play, as it looks like Leland Payne was the ball carrier that time.
Redbud Fitness and Lifestyle Center is a full-service, state-of-the-art fitness and aquatic center in the heart of downtown Buchanan. When you're ready to focus on you and your health, visit their website at redbudfitness.com or stop in for more information. Redbud Fitness, a place to focus on you.
Full house backfield for the Bucks. Payne stutter steps, and he who hesitates is lost, in this term lost yardage. So a loss of 2 on the play, and Sam Rucker comes in and makes the stop. Boy, Rucker was a defensive force last year in his freshman season for Niles, had 10 sacks for the Vikings as a freshman.
What a great job for this Niles defense to start with the way they've started this game against this Buchanan offense. I mean, just a high explosive offense, a lot of speed, and they've really just put the pressure on Buchanan's offense. Haven't let them done anything yet.
4 of the 5 plays run by the Bucks have been for negative yardage. 3rd and 11. Legault fires over the middle and has his receiver, but well short of the 1st down, up around the 22-yard line. They were able to complete the pass to Kyle Lewis, but Lewis winds up 5 yards short. You have the feeling that Connor Legault's going to be kicking it away again.
Selge Construction is a proud sponsor of Buchanan football on TV 46 Sports. They've served the Michiana community since 1960 and have a team with exceptional experience and industrial knowledge. Selge Construction, quality work in the safest way possible.
And the kick is blocked partially by Corian Parks of Niles, and the Vikings will have it again deep in Bucks territory. You get another look from the Frame Products replay, and Parks got that big paw on it and knocked it out of bounds at the line of scrimmage at the 22.
It's one of the things that you really risk when you take that short snap and you don't have a long snap back to the punter. You have ability of defenders getting in there quick, and if you don't get rid of it right away, you have a chance of it getting blocked like it did right there.
Buchanan's defense came up big on the last possession. Can they do it again here? Fumble on the snap, and Brawley falls on it at the line of scrimmage.
Vite Greenhouse on Redbud Trail has all the flowers you need to decorate your home for fall. Stop by this week for a large variety of mums, asters, fall pansies, and they have a perennial sale. Vite Greenhouse on Redbud Trail, 2 miles south of US 12.
So it's 2nd and 11 from the 23. Corian Parks lines up in the backfield behind Brawley this time. Rucker in motion, but it's Parks slamming off the left. No, they keep it with Rucker, and Rucker is taken down at the 20-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play for Sam Rucker. You'll get another look at how this one unfolded, thanks to Frame Products.
You can see them run the triple option right here. Fake the first one, quarterback has the next option, then they throw it out. Problem was they were on the short side of the field. If they would have ran that to the wide side, they might have had a little bit more room to get to the corner.
As it is, Niles looking at a 3rd and 7 here. 4:30 to go, first quarter on the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Niles scored on its first play from scrimmage and still holds an 8-0 lead. Movement along the line of scrimmage, and it's offsides against the Bucks. That'll cost him 5.
Yeah, Bucks were bringing a corner blitz on that, and if they had an audible out, there was nobody going to be on the receiver out there in the corner.
You find a lot of high school quarterbacks, though, that have that flexibility?
It's very rare and very seldom, and a lot of times they're at least a junior, if not a senior, because you have to really be able to work on that and adjust to that.
3rd and 2 now for Niles from the 15-yard line. Play clock down to 5. I don't think Brawley knows. Scott Shaw wants a timeout, and he got it just in time. And we'll keep it here with 4:16 to go in the first quarter.
Redbud Health Services is Southwest Michigan's preferred physical therapy provider for post-operative and return to sports rehabilitation, with state-of-the-art fitness and aquatic facilities available to assist you throughout your rehabilitation journey. Located within the Redbud Fitness and Lifestyle Center behind City Hall in Buchanan, find us online at redbudhealth.com.
I imagine Scott Shaw may have made an occasional trip to Vegas, so 21 or bust seems like the thing to say, because under Scott Shaw, Niles has not lost a game when they've scored 21 points or more. And the Vikings knocking on the door here with a 3rd and 2 from the 15 with an 8-0 lead. As you take a look at Mark Fry in his 4th season at Buchanan, a Hanover grad, went to Elkhart Memorial High School. He's been an assistant at Concord and Ohio Northern, and trying to figure out some defensive answers here on a big 3rd and 2 from the 15. Hess back in the game at running back, and it looks like Brawley changes the play at the line of scrimmage, and he gives it to Julian Means-Fluellen for a Niles first down and more, as Means-Fluellen powers all the way up to the 8-yard line, and the Vikings will have 1st and goal.
Get a great look at it on the Frame Products instant replay here. Just went with the basic pro set, fullback, tailback, power off the left side, and just go right at them. A lot of times, if you run that well, you're going to pick up 6 to 8 yards every single time you run that play.
Means-Fluellen with strong legs. That comes from not only being a sprinter, but a state finalist wrestler last year. 1st and goal from the 8. It's Brawley on the outside. He's going to keep it himself. Can't quite get to the end zone. Yes, he did. Touchdown, Niles. Talon Brawley takes it in from 8 yards out, and Niles extends the lead to 14-0.
Going from 0 points last week to 14 already here in the first quarter for this Niles Vikings offense.
You get another look from Frame Products. And check the knee of Mr. Brawley as he gets to the outside. Yep, ball's over the goal line. Touchdown. And again, Niles will go for 2. In this world of analytics, coaches will tell you I'll take a 50-50 shot on the 2-point conversion because it's just like kicking and it's one less thing I have to work on. Brawley puts a man in motion. He's going to the left and going nowhere. Bulldog tackle in the backfield that time by Dylan Oatsfall to stop the two-pointer. But Niles now with a 14-0 lead with 3:41 to go here in the first.
Frame Products and Corp in downtown Buchanan is a high-precision machining facility that specializes in CNC machining of prototypes and production work, supporting local and national businesses in the marine, agricultural, automation, and energy sectors. They're proud to be right here in Southwest Michigan and very proud to support Buchanan football. Go Bucks!
Lots of times, numbers don't always reflect the way a football game is going, but these do. Total offense so far, Niles has 94 yards of total offense. Buchanan has 2.
Definitely numbers don't lie right now, no. And I think that's one of the biggest things is, Niles' defense is just the pressure they're putting on the Buchanan offensive line and getting in and putting pressure on Legault. But Buchanan's offense not being able to do anything and find anything open. I mean, when they're bringing that pressure, okay, maybe you do a screen, maybe you do a quick slant, something to get them to have that over pursuing and then take that away from them and make them make the adjustment then at that time.
That was the question I was going to ask you, because every fan in maroon over on the other side is saying, okay, well, what do we do to move the football?
Yeah, you take the strengths and you try to turn it into a weakness, and in this case, they're really, putting that pressure up front. Well, now you just run a center screen, let them all come up, run the center screen, and then you can pick up a big yards. Then it slows them down just a little bit, and now you can maybe work in your offense.
Because honestly, Legault hasn't even had time to make a quick out. When
No.
they did try to throw the one to Van Overberg on the sideline, he was swarmed under in a second.
Yeah, and they're really coming up on the corner or on the receivers up early as well, because they know that the pressure's coming, so the ball's going to get out really quick. So that means that they're going to just come up and try to face guard the defenders right away.
So Niles with a sudden 14-0 lead in this one. And right now, the big school giving the little school a noogie. Jack Ruth is the deep man for Buchanan. Ezra Vance puts toe to leather. It's a line drive off the hands of a lineman and taken in by Nico Finn. And Finn still on his feet, spinning, and finally brought down at the 35-yard line.
Best field position for Buchanan to start the night here. See if they can get something going with the offense now.
Nico Finn looking more like Scott Hamilton, sit-spin double axle out there on the field. So he brings it up to the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Buchanan from there. And that's the best field position of the night for the Bucks. Connor Legault working from the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Nico Finn, and again, penetration from Niles, and they get Finn 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Caden Garrett comes up and makes the hit.
Buchanan's offense definitely is going to have to make some adjustments here really quick, or this thing could get out of hand if they don't get anything going here in the first half.
-7 yards rushing on 5 carries tonight for Buchanan. Legault steps up in the pocket. He'll run a little bit and he'll take a thump. Paul Hess came up and laid the lumber to Legault after a pickup of 1. Hess had a very solid game last week against Sturgis, and then you might think, looking at that hit, he's a strong young man. He can bench 340, and he's an amateur power lifter.
Yeah, not too shabby.
It is 3rd down and 14. Leland Payne, the back next to Legault, purely for blocking purposes. Legault
Pressure.
hit from behind. Sam Rucker was looking for the strip, and down he goes.
Pressure came off the corner. They actually had him double teamed, and he was able to come all the way around. You can see here a great replay from Frame Products on our replay cam. The other guy coming in right there, tried to get him again, and nope. Got to get rid of that ball earlier.
Rucker went right around the left tackle, Ryder Anderson, that time. And it's 4th down in another kicking situation. The Buchanan Kicks tonight, sponsored by McCarty Well Drilling. Alex Cole, the deep man for Niles. Niles blocked the last Legault punt. He's going to back up. Oh, he's going to throw. He's going to lob it out for Van Overberg, and it is
Pass
incomplete, but pass interference. The face guarding was quite evident that time.
A lot of times you'll see that type of a trick play. They'll line up like it's a punt and then just throw it down, hoping that the defender is going to just pass interference in that situation. You saw a perfect example of it right there.
Now the only question is pass interference and automatic first down, because Buchanan was looking at 4th down and 17. 15-yard penalty would leave them short.
Yeah, still come up 4th and 2.
Pass interference call against the Vikings.
So the officials will walk it off, but the chains are not moving. Fourth and 2 from the 43. And no doubt Buchanan will go for it here.
They haven't been able to get anything on the ground tonight. Do they stick with the run, or do they fake the run and run a bootleg?
Well, they've got a full house backfield here behind Connor Legault. You've got a senior center in Owen Kuepmeyer. You wonder if you might just try to quarterback sneak right behind him.
2 yards is a lot to pick up in the middle of the field.
Well, especially with the penetration Niles has been getting. Misdirection, they hand it off in the backfield. Leland Payne got the first down up to the 46. It wasn't easy. It took second effort, but Payne is able to get there and get Buchanan's first down of the night.
Nice little crossbuck play there. Fake one direction, give to the other running back coming through. You see the pulling guard there as well coming through. Good job lead blocking, picking up the 2 yards necessary.
And actually the tackler, Brett Barrett, wound up moving him forward towards the first down. So it's 1st and 10 from the 45. Legault quick out over the head of Thomas Van Overberg. Not easy to do for the 6'3" basketball and baseball star, but Legault fires the incompletion, his first of the night.
Horizon Realty Group is proud to support the Niles versus Buchanan football game on TV 46 Sports. Kyle Zelmer and his team are natives of Southwest Michigan, and they're market experts. If you're ready to list or buy, they'll put their experience to work for you. Find them at moveyourhorizon.com.
On 2nd and 10, Legault under pressure. There's the middle screen. Dylan Oatsfall tackled down at the 50, and a late flag comes in from way back at the back judge. Peyton Gordon came in and made the stop, but now let's see what the flag is all about.
We're not sure if they had a...
It's a horse collar tackle, it appears. And if that's the case, it'll be a Buchanan first down. Mark Fry asking why there has to be so much discussion about this. I think they're trying to get the number of the person who made the horse collar. Maybe it's not a horse collar. Maybe he's just turning on his mic.
Yeah.
It's a block in the back against Buchanan. And it'll be 2nd down, and it completely negates the yardage on the play because the block in the back occurred down at the 50-yard line. Spot infraction. So 2nd and 10, and all that looks like it never happened. Blitz coming. Picked up. Legault fires a bullet, and Jack Ruth drops it.
Again, Niles bringing the pressure up front, really trying to face guard the receivers as well, up close, not giving them any time whatsoever. Just a great game plan defensively so far for this Niles program.
Not surprising from a veteran coach like Scott Shaw, who has been around for 33 years, coached a state championship team at Three Rivers back in 2003. Looking at a 3rd and 10. Legault with time. Fires a little bit low. His receiver is able to make the grab behind him as Kyle Lewis gets his second grab of the night, but because of where the ball was placed, he couldn't go anywhere, and it's 4th and 7.
They might take the rest of the time here to think about it before they punt this away or go for it, whichever they decide.
Buchanan appears to be playing at tempo here. We'll see if Mark Fry decides to slow them down or not. Game clock well ahead of the play clock. Legault fires out in the flat. There's Thomas Van Overberg. He's got wheels. He's got a first down. So Buchanan on the march into Niles territory as the first quarter comes to an end. Here at Sylvester Stadium in Berrien Springs, these two teams came fired up for the 35th renewal of this rivalry. Paul Hess ran 76 yards for a touchdown. Talon Brawley followed him to pay dirt. It's 14-0 Niles after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Hi there, Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt with you for a Bill's Heating Sideline Report. Normally you're down on terra firma, up in the booth again this week. Your thoughts on that first quarter?
I think Niles is a real team out there. We didn't know what to expect of them from last week, not scoring any points, getting shut out. Buchanan scoring 46 points, but they come in here tonight. Their defense is running all over their place. Their offense looks like they've made some big adjustments. Buchanan's starting to make some adjustments as well. They ran 2 screens in that last play right there, and then they ran a middle screen as well. So they're starting to make those adjustments. This game isn't out of hand yet.
No, not at all. And Buchanan has shown that big play capability. So let's turn the page to quarter number 2 as Connor Legault looks at a 1st and 10 from the Niles 44-yard line. Legault tonight, 4 out of 6, but for only 15 yards. After throwing for over 300 last week. And he's looking to throw again. Has time. There's a flag in the backfield. This one's coming back.
Oh, boy.
Jack Ruth is in the end zone, but he might as well come on back because there was a tackle made in the backfield by the Buchanan offensive line.
Face mask. Yeah, basically grabbed his face mask and pulled him down.
And you'll get another look at it here from Frame Products, and I'm told we've got a real good look at the face mask here. So look in the vicinity here of number 79, and as he's falling backwards, he grabs on.
I wasn't quite sure he grabbed onto that. Looked like he might have slipped across.
Pulled him just forward enough.
Yeah. And didn't really even need to do it. That's the thing, too.
We've got one more angle at it, so maybe this one will show a better look. You're going to have to look up upper left, but the referee had no hesitation whatsoever in throwing the flag.
Yeah.
So it's 1st and 25. Legault pressured, gets rid of it. Van Overberg's out there, but it's just a little too far.
You're seeing Legault get a little bit more time now. We talked about that, running those screens and trying to slow that Niles team down, defensive line down just enough to get some time, and now he's able to really get some time and get some air into the ball.
And Van Overberg was right out there. Sam Rucker applied pressure that time, though. And that's why Legault had to get rid of it. 2nd and 25. And Niles with 7 in the box, bringing heat again. And oh, what a hit by Hess. As he put it to Jackson Seton to force the incompletion.
Those are the ones that you think about all week and think that you're going to do the other team, and just a great job of anticipating where that ball's going to be, stepping up, proper form, going right through the defender.
The ribs will not feel all that good this weekend for Mr. Seddon. 3rd and 25. Legault throws it deep, nobody out there. He wanted Dylan Oatsfall, but Oatsfall ran a different route.
McCarty Well Drilling is a family-owned business in Buchanan and has served Southwest Michigan since 1950. They provide residential wells and service, irrigation wells, and geothermal drilling. Fully licensed and insured for your safety, contact them for a free estimate at McCartyWellDrilling.com.
Well, the Niles fans traveled well tonight. Good crowd here at Sylvester Stadium in Berrien Springs as Legault lines up in the shotgun, but remember, he's also the punter, and he will punt it this time. Niles has nobody back deep. That ball will take a beautiful roll on the rug and go all the way down. Niles downs it. And why Niles went after it, I'm not sure. Whether that's a touchback or at the 1 yard line, it looks like they're going to call it a touchback. But there was absolutely no reason for Niles to chase after the football. And we're not going to have a great angle on this as to whether he got to it before the goal line, but yeah, he did. The ball should be at the 2 yard line. So that's another huge break for Niles.
Yeah, second one of the night.
First and 10 at the 20. Now the referee is going to halt things up here. It's a sideline warning against Buchanan. But, you know, I can understand a little bit why Mark Fry's out on the sidelines right now, because quite honestly, there hasn't been any call in favor of the Bucks tonight.
No.
In the first quarter plus. Buchanan coming on a blitz, a fumbled snap. Brawley didn't get on it, but it looks like one of his linemen did.
Second time the exchange for the Niles center quarterback exchange has been fumbled on the night. And you're right with Mark, just the score's not going his way, calls aren't going his way at this point, and a lot of things can start getting a little frustrating when you know that something else should have been called on that last play.
2nd and 11. And again, there is not instant replay in high school football. If there was, games would probably last somewhere around a week. On 2nd and 11, the pitch to Julian Means-Fluellen. He can't get around the corner, but he cuts it back inside on a nifty run and is brought down at the 24 yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play.
Really great pursuit by Buchanan that time, but even better run, being able to cut back and actually pick up positive yards on that play, because he wasn't going anywhere to the outside.
By the way, that last Buchanan punt sponsored by McCarty Well Drilling. Looking at a 3rd and 6 here for Niles. Plenty of time left on the play clock. A little confusion as to what personnel should be on the field. Brawley has Hess behind him with 10 on the play clock. Brawley looks to throw. Has time, lobs it up there. It is incomplete. It was intended for Calvin Flagg, the freshman, but a little bit too far. And Niles would appear to have a punting situation here.
Niles Nutrition is healthy and sweet. The best nutritional shakes, smoothies, and juices with enough flavor options to satisfy anyone. Enjoy their family-friendly storefront located in Niles at 1946 11th Street.
Sam Rucker, the punter for Niles. Looks like Jack Ruth is going to be the deep man here. Rucker only averaged 15 yards a kick last week in the game against Sturgis. Ruth treating him like he's Ray Guy. Rucker hits this one, a little sideways spin to it. It will take a Niles roll and go back to about the 37 yard line. So that's a 39 yard kick with no return. 9:43 to go first half. Vikings lead at 14-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve the community. Connor Legault and the Buchanan Bucks trying to get back in this one, trailing 14-0. They appeared to have a touchdown pass on their last possession, only to have it returned for a penalty. Legault fires a bullet. Jackson Seddon makes the catch up at the 44-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 7 on the play. First catch of the season for Seddon, the 3-sport athlete.
Offensive line's really starting to give Legault some time now, and they're really starting to be able to move that ball a little bit, have a little bit of flow of that offense. They haven't had any really flow tonight to that last series.
Well, and they appear to have abandoned the running game right now. We will see here on 2nd and 3 if they try to sneak one in. And indeed they do with Nico Finn, and it didn't fool anybody. The tackle made by Paul Hess after a pickup of 1 on the play.
For over 30 years, St. Andrews Products has set the standard for apparel, business gifts, and promotional items. We support great charities like Folds of Honor and the American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan. We can help your cause. Contact us at sales@standrewscorp.com. At St. Andrews, your expectations become our standard.
3rd and 2 for Buchanan. Let's see what Mark Fry goes with here. It's Legault on a quarterback draw, and Legault has the first down as he crosses the midfield stripe. First down sponsored by Selge Construction as Connor Legault takes it right to the midfield stripe. Pickup of 6 on the play. And 1st and 10 from the 50. The Bucks finally in positive yardage for rushing tonight. And they'll keep it on the ground here. Finn spun away from 1 tackle and kept those strong legs going for a pickup of 3. You'll meet Nico Finn at halftime, one of our Tony Letcher Health Markets Student Athletes of the Week. Impressive athlete in football and baseball. Yeah. He was the lone sophomore starter on Buchanan's state championship baseball team.
Yeah, just a great kid, and you can see right there on that last run, just a great job. I mean, that was probably a loss of 3, and he turned it into a gain of 3. It was a 6-yard difference after the point of contact.
Do you think the wakeboarding helps with the leg strength?
I would assume yes.
2nd and 7. Legault to throw, and he threw it behind his intended receiver, Jack Ruth.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Teamwork is our specialty, working with industry giants like SpaceX and Boeing. For over 60 years, excellence has been our standard, and that won't change. Like the teams in this game, we're always working toward a great finish.
Legault giving Ruth a little my bad that time. Looking at a 3rd and 7 here. Play action, Legault on the quarterback draw. This time not as productive as a host of Vikings are there to make the stop at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 7 and a little bit of no man's land here for Buchanan. You might think, okay, let's punt it and pin them back deep. Well, you kind of did that the last time and you didn't get the call.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're winding down here in the first half. You're down 14 points. You got a little momentum. You really want to try to break it open. But if you're giving the ball here at the 50-yard line on turnover on downs, what does that do to Niles' confidence then and the momentum go their way?
Well, you get the feeling with this formation, they're going for it. They do, and it's stripped away. Was that a catch? And if so, it looks like it's a catch and a turnover. Or did Buchanan jump on the football? No signal here from the official. He's waiting to see if it's a completion or not. And it's first down Niles, but will it be on an incompletion or a fumble recovery?
I think they're saying it was a completion. Not sure if he took more than 2 steps.
Now here's the line drive to Van Overberg. 1, 2,
ball's
yeah.
kind of moving the whole time.
That's why I thought it was an incompletion.
Yeah.
And then it looked like a grease pig at the county fair here before Alex Cole was able to jump on it back at the 33. And so they're going to call it a completion and a turnover.
Either way, it was going to be Niles' ball in that situation.
Yeah, but in retrospect, Buchanan would prefer them to get the ball back at the 33 than the 47.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit RushCore, that's RESCHCOR.com.
And Buchanan would get credited for a first down on the play. We don't want to cheat our friends at Frame Products, who are sponsoring, or Selge Construction, I should say, who are sponsoring the first downs. Talon Brawley pitches to Julian Means Fluellen, and Fluellen tries to get around the corner, tight ropes his way down the sidelines, and steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Terrific body control by Julian Means Fluellen. You'll get another look courtesy of Frame Products.
Yeah, you can see a great job of really getting to that corner, and as soon as he gets to the corner, you can see him turn on the jets and really get upfield rather than just running out of bounds there and picking up an extra 7-8 yards after that play.
Niles now with 114 yards total offense, all of it coming on the ground. And I believe that's just their second first down of the night. From the 49. Paul Hess up the middle. Hess trying to break the tackle of Dean Roberts. The helmet comes off and Hess goes down at the 45-yard line, a pickup of 6.
6 yards. Tackled by number 63.
And there you see Paul Hess. Man, that's frightening.
He's definitely pumped, having a great game, offense and defense. Just really pumped right now.
There is a sporting goods store in need of more eye black after looking at Paul Hess.
I think he was auditioning at Niles' haunted house the other day as well.
2nd and 4. Up the middle it is. I believe it's Corian Parks who got the handoff, and they're going to spot him at the 41-yard line, and that would be good enough to get a first down. And again, the helmet comes off.
Frame Products Incorporated in downtown Buchanan is a proud sponsor of Buchanan Athletics and wants to wish the Bucks a great football season. Frame Products is currently hiring machinists in their lathe and milling departments. Come work for a great company in the nicest place in America. Apply online at frameproductsinc.com.
So 1st and 10 with 5:43 to go first half. Everything going Niles' way so far. They lead at 14-0. But you kind of get the feeling they need one more score to really assert control of this game.
Yeah, the momentum really isn't any direction right now, Buchanan or Niles. It was early on, of course, with Niles, but right now it's neither team really has the momentum going.
Brawley with a handoff to Caden Garrett, and Jared gets forward for about a yard that time.
Carried by number 3, Caden Garrett.
I believe Buchanan will be receiving the second half kickoff as well, so they will be getting the ball.
That's the 6th ball carrier of the first half here for Niles, as Scott Shaw on this warm September night tries to keep fresh legs going in the backfield.
Yeah, it looks like he's having a little bit of time management now as well, letting that clock run down a little bit, taking his time calling, trying to sustain a drive here. Nothing better than to go down and score with no time left here in the half.
2nd and 9. Man in motion is Rucker, but it's Jarrett on the carry, and he's stacked at the line of scrimmage. Might be able to plow forward for about 2 yards, and does. Whole lot of white jerseys around him that time, including Ryder Anderson, the 6'1 senior 3-sport athlete who wants to be a sports reporter. Ryder, aim higher, babe.
Yeah. Again, Scott Shaw taking his time, getting that play in.
Yeah, people think about time management maybe in the last 3 minutes of a quarter. Really, it's just as important at this stage of the game, because you want to limit the possession for the other team when they do get it back.
Well, he knows how explosive this Buchanan team can be. I mean, the big touchdown they had called back, 40-yard play.
3rd down, I formation look. Brawley on the pitch. Gets it outside. Julian Means Fluellen. Did he stay in bounds? Yes, he did. And then the flag comes out late, and that'll be another Niles first down. Means Fluellen ran for about 8 yards, but they could get another 15 for the bonus action out of bounds.
Yeah, it looks like they just carried over just a little bit. And it's one of those things, you're not necessarily that he was being unnecessarily rough. He just didn't, I don't think, quite understood where he was on the field and that he was out of bounds, because Llewellyn was still actually trying to run at that time.
That is the 5th penalty on Buchanan tonight for 55 yards here in the first half. And you'll get another look courtesy of Frame Products. And watch here as Means Llewellyn with really good footwork along the sidelines. And then Jack Ruth just had no idea that he was 3 steps out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, the defender was, but the running back was still questionably whether or not he was in bounds or out of bounds at that time. But I think he did throw him to the ground.
And of course, you don't know, you can't tell from that replay when the whistle blew either.
Yeah.
So if the whistle has blown and you're continuing that action, that can be part of the problem too.
Correct.
As it is, it's 1st and 10 from the Buchanan 14. This Niles march started back at their own 33-yard line. And the officials have yet to set the ball for play. They decided to make it a half the distance to the goal line penalty and move it back 1 yard. And Scott Shaw is going to take a timeout because, well, it's a warm night. He wants his offense to stay fresh.
Tonight's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Healthy kids are better students and better athletes. Schedule your child's annual checkup at HealthLink today. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay. That's HealthLink.
Now it's time for tonight's TCU trivia question. In what year did Buchanan field its first football team? That's the one for you to ponder right now. We'll give you a couple minutes to figure it out and give you the answer in just a moment. I can tell you that the high school building itself is exactly 100 years old this year. It was built back in 1922, and if you drive by it on Chicago Street in Buchanan, still looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, schools back then were built, buildings themselves were built pretty sturdy and for to last.
Right around the same year as the cave in Mishawaka, if I'm not mistaken, 1924.
Close to your birthday.
Hey now. Niles looking at a 1st and 10 here. They are at the Buchanan 15-yard line. Talon Brawley, the quarterback, has had a couple fumbles tonight, but they have been able to recover them. Paul Hess is his running back. It's Hess off the left side. Hess outrunning Connor Legault to the end zone. Touchdown, Niles. His second of the night, a 15-yard scamper, 4 carries, 100 yards, and 2 tutties. Pretty good first half for Paul Hess. You get another look from Frame Products.
What a great job of really hitting that corner, and you can see the defensive line of Buchanan just over pursue there. He's able to get the corner, and nobody was touching him after that.
Boy, Julian Means Llewellyn and Carson Clanton were like road graders that time. They just moved people out of the way. So Niles will go for 2. Again, it's Hess in the backfield behind Brawley, up 20-0. Brawley wants to throw it under pressure and knocked down by Payne. And so the 2-point conversion goes awry, but everything else going Niles' way with 3:33 to go first half. Well, let's go ahead and answer the TCU trivia question. In what year did Buchanan field its first football team? Well, Mark Fry earlier this week at practice wearing a shirt that said Team 75 because it's the 75th anniversary of football in Buchanan. They started back in 1947.
Great tradition up there.
I think that might be the same year Memorial Field up there was built.
It was built at the same time, yeah.
So the Bucks have had their share of success, although it's been difficult lately in football. They've been very good in some other sports, particularly baseball.
Yeah.
But Mark Fry has his hands full here tonight. Buchanan came into this game talking that they had a huge chip on their shoulder. They felt like they had a lot of confidence coming out of the game with Saugatuck. They had seen the score of the Niles game, and that might have been the worst thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean, you get shut out last year, 26-0. You score 46 the week before, and you're coming in, you're flying a little high. You really have a lot of that confidence, and maybe you get a little bit overconfident in a game like this, especially when Niles opens up with a 76-yard run to start the game.
Payne from his own 10 brings it out to the 34, and now we'll see what kind of quick strike offense Buchanan has. They have 3:25 to go in the half. They have 3 timeouts remaining. They'll get the ball to start the second half. They could seize some momentum here if they can get some points on the board at the end of this first half, but they have another man down on the field right now as the kickoff returner Leland Payne is slow to get up.
Yeah, Buchanan really needs to put some points on the board right here and then get the ball in the second half and do the same thing. What they can't afford to do is have a turnover or have a quick 3 and out and give Niles the ball back with some time and the ability to score again.
Reminder, next week, it's a one-game week for us on TV 46. We go into Indiana and see the Baron of Walkerton. John Barron and his John Glenn Falcons started off 2-0. Jimtown has started 0-2. That means nothing when these two old rivals from the old Northern State Conference get together for an NIC South game. Expected to be a wee bit physical down in Walkerton. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
The Jimmies and the Falcons.
That has to bring back some memories for you, an old Northern State Conference guy.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You know, being back then, I mean, that was two of the biggest rivals that we had in the conference was Jimtown and Glenn. You know, back in that time, it was us three that really competed for the conference title year in and year out.
Are you surprised at the success that John Barron has seemed to have right away at John Glenn?
No, because of the offense that he's able to run, as long as the community and the team is able to buy into that offense. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. And we see that over with coaches. If you can bring the right coaches in, and it's not just John himself. I know he's going to be one of the first ones to say it as well. It's the guys that he brings in with him that helps him out. You have to be able to trust your assistants as well to help run that type of offense.
Well, you talk about community buy-in. Great crowd here tonight at Sylvester Stadium. The Niles people have traveled well. Buchanan just about filled its section across the way. So wonderful to see this kind of a crowd at a neutral site game. Motion along the line of scrimmage. Niles jumped offside. That'll cost them 5, their third penalty of the night.
And I love the second football game we have out there across the way as well. About 20, 25, maybe 30 kids out there you can see there on the big screen, you know.
Yeah, the thing is, if this game in front of us goes bad, we can always go to that game up top, although I won't have a lot of names for you.
Again, a neutral site, and, you know, the crowd that comes out here, the games that are going on as well.
So it's a 1st and 5 here for Buchanan. Connor Legault pumps to Van Overberg. He's got Jack Ruth breaking deep, and Ruth was tackled, and it's going to be a pass interference on Niles.
I think that's one of the best things he could have done on that. I mean, he was burnt. There was no way he was catching him. Take the pass interference. It's not a spot foul. It's only a 15-yard penalty at this point.
It negates basically, well, the offsides. It tacks on to the offsides penalty, so it takes it up to the 45. But if that one's caught in stride, they're cueing the Buchanan fight zone.
They sure are. Here to protect and serve our community, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
First down sponsored by Selge Construction. Buchanan in Niles territory again, but they have not been able to finish drives tonight. Let's see if they can here. Legault with time, almost intercepted. Stepping in front of it and making a beautiful defensive play was a young man whose number is not on our roster tonight, but I'm going to guess it's Braylon Schultz, the 5'9" sophomore.
What a great job of really stepping in front of that. Here you can see on the Frame Products instant replay, just stepping right in front of that, knocking it away. Didn't come away with the pick, but a great job.
Schultz normally wears 23, but Vikings sporting all blues tonight, and I think he's in 24 in this. He's playing corner. Legault, again, the pump fake, throws too far for Jackson Seton. And it's been a tough night throwing the football tonight for Connor Legault. 6 out of 14, 36 yards.
And they took over this possession with, I think, 3:30, 3:35, so a lot of time has not come off the clock so far here on 3rd down.
Pass interference has been one of the better plays for Buchanan tonight.
Yeah.
It's netted them 2 first downs. 3rd and 10. Legault again gets rid of it. He's going for Van Overberg, too far. And Schultz was with him stride for stride. The sophomore 3-sport athlete was the homecoming prince a year ago as a freshman, might be collecting more votes with his performance tonight.
Buchanan really starting to take a lot more deeper shots down the field, trying to have those big hitters.
4th and 10. Buchanan kind of going with the Major League Baseball offense here. It's home run or strikeout. And we have a fire alarm going off here at Sylvester Stadium.
Call the building commissioner.
Legault under pressure. It's a screen to Van Overberg. He's got blockers in front. Van Overberg with a first down, but a flag comes out behind the play, so hold everything. And Mark Fry has to be thinking, now what?
I wasn't sure there was a guy there to hold. I think that's what they're calling the holding call.
Again, the official communicating via his microphone with the crew. And it's going to be against Buchanan for a block in the back. We'll take another look on the Frame Products replay and see if we can pick it up here. The screen run to Thomas Van Overberg, and he was able to make the grab. And I think they might have called Payne for that little push from behind.
And a lot of times what happens on that is the defender changes directions right when you're getting ready to block him, and they have to understand that that block is happening right when the guy turns.
Boy, some costly penalties for Buchanan tonight. Mark Fry is going to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Reminder, the Big Ten season underway now for both Purdue and Indiana. And we have more action on the radio next weekend. Purdue at home against the Indiana State Sycamores. We'll have that one for you from Ross-Ade Stadium Saturday, September 10th at 4 p.m. And then the Idaho Vandals and Paul Moala, the former Penn product, come in to take on the Indiana Hoosiers at Memorial Stadium. Don Fisher has the call on 103.1 FM at 8. Big Ten football comes your way on Pulse FM. And of course, a lot of eyes on Big Ten teams on Saturday with Jim Harbaugh and Michigan opening the season. What do you think of his idea to split the quarterbacking duties?
Oh, don't get me started on those. I remember how many years ago was that when Florida kind of started that tradition, and then other teams started going.
Doug Johnson and Jesse Palmer.
Yep. It's one of those things, we've seen it a few times in high school as well.
4th and 14. Legault punts. It's sponsored by McCarty Well Drilling, but it's not a very good punt. It goes out of bounds at the 29, just a 20-yard boot with no return. And Niles takes over, leading 20-0. 1st and 10, back on their own 29. One timeout remaining. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive Scott Shaw is here.
Yeah, I think like that last series, they want to run some clock, they want to burn some time, sustain a drive, but they would love to put up some more points on the board here right before half as well.
Talon Brawley has directed the option attack nicely tonight. Paul Hess with a pair of touchdown runs, and he lines up in the backfield behind Brawley. Hess fumbles, and it's loose, and it appears Brawley picked it up in mid-stride and took it out to the 33-yard line, a pickup of 4 on the play.
Wow, 3rd time that Niles has put the ball on the ground and has been able to recover it.
All the bounces going the Vikings' way tonight. Take another look at this. Fumbled on the handoff, and it actually goes off the hands of a Buchanan player right into the arms of Brawley. If it weren't for bad luck, the Bucs would have no luck at all. 2nd and 6. Again, it's Hess in the backfield. He takes the handoff off the left side. Hess with running room out there, and he has a first down for the Vikings as he goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And the Viking horn sounds off again. They'll spot it at the 39, a pickup of 7 on the play.
Good job by Hess really picking up that first down, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. with 2 minutes, you still want to be able to score. And with this type of offense, being a running offense, they need a little bit more time to score.
You know, you think of a fullback, and really that's what Paul Hess is in this offense at 5'10", 200. He has better speed than what it looks like he would have.
I think it's the quickness that he has. And, you know, you saw in that first run of the game where he broke it for 76 yards. He was able to run away from everybody as well.
Thomas Van Overberg says hello to Julian Means-Fluellen right around the line of scrimmage. And a timeout is called here by Niles with 1:18 to go first half. Well, as you take a look at Scott Shaw, didn't have that white hair when he graduated from Mishawaka in '75 as the Phil Eskew Mental Attitude Award winner, but he has earned it over 33 seasons. He is 7th among active coaches in Michigan high school football with 204 wins, and he is already in the Michigan High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame because, quite frankly, when he left Granville for Indiana almost a decade ago, people thought, oh, he's not coming back. And then he went to Elkhart Memorial, and he sat out in 2020. And all of a sudden, Niles had an opening after Cody French left after about a month to go to Calumet. And Scott said, sure, why not? And last year, he came back and gave Niles just its second winning season in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Scott before the game and talk about coming back to Michigan and being back up here and coaching. And he's had a lot of wins up here, a lot of success, and really enjoys it up here. I mean, he talked about loving coaching in Indiana as well, but loves the community atmosphere up here at Niles.
So it's 2nd and 11. Brawley wants to throw. He's under pressure. Scrambling, he better get rid of it. And he does, but it won't pass the line of scrimmage. And Mark Fry is saying you got to call that intentional grounding.
Oh, they're not calling anything.
And that's a little bit unbelievable. They're saying that he was outside the tackle box. That part is true. But he is nowhere near the line of scrimmage, and there's the flag.
I believe he was about 5 or 6 yards further near the goal line than where the flag went.
He was closer to the end zone than he was to the line of scrimmage, which is saying something that the line of scrimmage was the 38. So that's going to wind up being a 28-yard penalty and a loss of down. And now if you're Buchanan with your 2 timeouts, and Niles is looking at a 3rd down, and they're somewhere around South Haven. 3rd and 39.
3rd down, 39 to go for the Vikings.
Yeah, be interesting if they do a run play here, make Buchanan use a timeout.
Oh, I think you have to. There's no sense in trying to throw the ball here. Brawley's under center. He just hands off to Paul Hess, and Mark Fry running over to the official to call a timeout.
Paul Hess carries for about 2 yards, brings up.
So the timeout called with 45 seconds left as you take a look at Mark Fry, Elkhart Memorial graduate. His stepfather, Dennis Teagarden, who's currently an assistant coach at Concord, which means Phil Teagarden is his step-grandfather, and Phil going to probably head over to Memorial Field and catch a couple of games this year. Phil, of course, a Hall of Fame coach in the state of Indiana.
A lot of coaching experience in that family.
Mark started his career as an assistant at Concord after graduating from Hanover, then went up and was an assistant for a couple of colleges in Ohio. Had his administrator's license at a little high school called, I believe it was Riverdale over in Ohio, and then was able to get back closer to family by taking the job here at Buchanan, where he's the assistant principal.
It's always nice being able to get back closer to home, and nothing was open around the South Bend, Michiana area, so he was able to take the Buchanan job, which is just across the border, close enough.
I believe he lives in Indiana, actually, in Granger. So 4th and 39, Sam Rucker is the punter for Niles. Buchanan puts its deep man in Niles territory at the 47. And I think Jamari Brown is the deep man for Buchanan. Clean snap. Rucker shanks it off the side of his foot, but it takes a Niles roll. Hasn't everything tonight for the Vikings, and it goes dead at the 48-yard line. So Buchanan has one timeout, 1st and 10, 37 seconds left in the half. And we'll see if Connor Legault and the Bucks can find their way into the end zone.
Well, you know they're going to take at least 2 shots down the field here in the first series, regardless of the down and distance. They're going to try to go over the top, get the big hitter for sure.
Do you try to work the sideline a little bit, though, earlier on so that your shots deep go into the end zone?
Well, I think it all depends on the defense that they're going to set up, because a lot of times in this, they're going to play a little bit off, so the middle of the field is actually usually open a lot easier.
Legault for Van Overberg. He couldn't get his hands on it. It's incomplete.
Looks like Niles is still staying with their pressure defense and really trying to face guard the wide receiver, so it's one of those things where maybe you can do a pump and go like they've been working earlier in the game.
Looking at a 2nd and 10. Legault just 6 out of 16 throwing the football tonight for 36 yards. Coming off that 9 of 16 for 304 against Saugatuck. But Saugatuck didn't get the kind of pressure on him that Niles has been able to tonight. On 2nd and 10, Legault with time. Airs it out. Jack Ruth can't hang on because he got popped really well as he caught the football by Julian Means-Fluellen.
The defensive secondary for Niles has just been phenomenal on these plays. Midfield plays, about 15, 20 yards downfield, just breaking stuff up and not allowing them to catch anything.
That is the second well-timed hit tonight by the Niles secondary. And Means-Fluellen, I talked to him before the season even started, and he was relishing the opportunity to play in this game. He had a big game last year against Buchanan with 2 touchdowns. Ruth in motion. They fake the sweep to him. Legault going to heave it out there, and it is almost intercepted. He was trying to go for Nico Finn, and it looked like Alex Cole was with him stride for stride.
I think one of the things with that play right there, Legault had his eyes set on who he was going to throw it to no matter what on that play and just let it go.
So 4th and 10 from the 21. The Niles defense pitching a shutout here in the first half. They did that last week against Sturgis. The difference is the offense has come up with 20 points.
Got one-on-one at the bottom of the screen. There's a pump and go.
And it's going for Jackson Seddon, but it's overthrown, so 4 straight incompletions. And the Niles defense will hold again with 16 seconds left in the half. And Scott Shaw has to be delighted with what he has seen from the Vikings here tonight.
Yeah, just all aspects of the game going well. Offense, defense, special teams not too bad with the block punt as well. And you're getting most of the calls and most of the rolls tonight too.
Some critical penalties against Buchanan. They had a touchdown called back earlier. They had a helmet-to-helmet call go against them that appeared to perhaps be initiated by Niles. They had a call on special teams, a punt that was stopped at the 2 but called as a touchback. It just has not been the Bucks' night.
Three fumbles that
one of them that bounced right into the quarterback's hands. It's just been one of those nights. 1st and 10 for Niles. Brawley gonna put it up there for Kelvin Flagg. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 11 seconds left. The amazing thing for Niles too is all the production has been on the ground, almost like it was last week. They only had 15 yards passing last week. They have 0 here tonight. So 2nd and 10. Hess in the backfield. Fumbled snap. And guess what? It bounced right back up to Brawley, and he runs for about a 1st down. Up to the 42-yard line. Dylan Oatsfall on the tackle.
When it's going your way, it's going your way.
Man, oh man.
and 10 Vikings.
So Niles with its 6th first down of the first half. Clock stops with 7 seconds, but that'll do it for half number 1 here from Sylvester Stadium in Berrien Springs. The Niles Vikings padded their lead in the second quarter with the 2nd touchdown of the night from running back Paul Hess. And the folks who've made the trek into Berrien Springs tonight are happy for the blue and gold. They lead it 20-0 at the half. Stick around. Our St. Joe County Police Department halftime report and our Tony Letcher Health Market student athletes are next on 46. We're at halftime of tonight's game between Buchanan and Niles. Time now to meet our Health Markets Tony Letcher Student Athletes of the Week, brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher at Health Markets. We start you off with 2 outstanding juniors from these 2 schools. Nico Finn from Buchanan, Talon Brawley from Niles. As always, we start with the visitors first. Nico, a 4.0 student and a member of the football and baseball team. So 2 sports, 4.0 average. That can't be easy. How do you balance all that?
Just make sure I get all my work done and then fly to practice and then get home, make sure I get everything done. This year, got some college classes, so I gotta, those are gonna be a little harder this year, but I'll make sure I get it all done, hopefully keep my grades up.
And those college classes help you get credits for college?
Yeah, they'll transfer over to college and it'll boost my GPA more, so yeah, those will help for sure.
Very good. Now, Nico, as a sophomore, was a member of a state championship baseball team at Buchanan. First time that had happened for the Bucks in a long time. What was it like to be a member of that group?
Oh, it was crazy, especially being the only underclassman. It was just a crazy experience, making the run, and then get to the championship, playing Detroit Edison. It was insane, beating them 3-1. It was just a crazy experience with all the guys on the team.
What motivates you, not only athletically, but in the classroom? Is this a value your folks instilled in you, or what is it that keeps you going?
I think just since a young age, I just really like playing football and baseball, and football, just watching Notre Dame growing up. I just really love football ever since I was young.
Now as you get looking ahead after you graduate from Buchanan, which won't be this year, it'll be next year, what do you hope to do?
Oh, I hope to either play football or baseball in college, whichever one I got an offer for. I am pretty decent at both, so hopefully I'll get an offer from either one of those. But I really love football, I really love baseball. I like to go either way.
And what do you intend to study, do you know?
I'm going to go into business in college.
Great idea. Nico Finn from Buchanan High School. His travel baseball teammate, Mr. Talon Brawley over here. Talon, a 3-sport athlete at Niles, where he too is a perfect 4.0 student. Football, baseball, basketball. How in the heck do you find time to crack a book open?
Well, I like to just balance time between the two, find some time in the day to work on the sports and find some time on my own to study and everything for school.
I imagine it takes kind of a smart and decisive guy to run this kind of offense that you're running too with the triple option. Do you find that being maybe a person that does better in the classroom helps you out here with the situations Coach Shaw put you in?
Definitely. I think the habits that I've created in the classroom of studying and everything has helped me out in football with studying film and learning the offense and everything like that.
What do you remember about playing baseball with this kid?
He's a stud. Yeah, he can hit the ball, he can run, he can do it all.
So can you, from what I've been told. You're a pretty good baseball player too. Do you have a favorite sport of those 3?
I'd probably say football or baseball. I really love those 2. Yeah, probably a little bit towards football. But
I noticed in the information that you gave us, you're interested in a career in the sciences, either biology or sports medicine you mentioned. What instilled that interest in you?
I think it's really neat to just learn about the world around me and just learn how certain things go under our noses and you don't really even realize it.
That's a great observation, Talon. Thank you very much for your time tonight. That's Talon Brawley from Niles, along with Nico Finn from Buchanan. They are our Tony Letcher Health Markets Student Athletes of the Week. We thank Tony Letcher from Health Markets for his sponsorship. And when we come back, it's halftime highlights and stats from Berrien Springs after this on 46. This edition of the 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Martin Supermarkets. Count on us for all your grocery needs and so much more. And welcome inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth, everybody. Chuck Freeby alongside Bo Hunt, high atop the fray here at Sylvester Stadium. 20-0 at halftime for the Niles Vikings. The Vikings believed, I'm not sure anybody else did coming into this game.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was their offense really exploded early on, and I think the defense really stepped up. That was the key, really putting the pressure on Buchanan and not letting them to get any yards.
Shows up in our halftime highlights. Let's take a look at them right now, because on the first play of scrimmage tonight, Paul Hess broke through the line of scrimmage, and when he was even, he was leaving. 76 yards for the touchdown. 2-point conversion made it 8-0. Bo talked about that swarming defense. Braylon Schultz was all over Thomas Van Overberg on the first series of the game. Meanwhile, Julian Means-Fluellen pounding in the line of scrimmage, backpedaling, doing everything he could to move the football down the field. Talon Brawley right around the right end for the 8-yard touchdown for the score. 2-pointer failed. It was 14-0. Sam Rucker and the Niles defense pressured Connor Legault all through that first quarter, made life miserable for him. And the running game kept going. Here's Means-Fluellen again with a nifty cutback run to avoid tacklers and pick up some yardage. When Buchanan was able to move it, they lose the football on a turnover here after a first down. Alex Cole is able to pick up the loose change, and a 67-yard drive to Pater, capped by a Hess touchdown run, makes it 20-0 at the half. And the first half stats just as ugly for the Bucks as the scoreboard.
Yeah, when you look at the stats, we talked about that. The stats don't lie. You got the penalties about even. Other than that, really, Niles was dominant on the field, on the yards, and with the penalties.
Here's the thing, though. Buchanan shows that passing game with the explosive capability to get back in this game, and they'll get the ball to begin the second half.
Yeah, they really got to get something going. They got to make some adjustments. They started to with the screens, but they got to make some bigger adjustments, and they had to put some points on the board.
The pride of the city of Four Flags, that Niles marching band out of the field right now, entertaining this crowd at halftime, and they're waving their flags for Niles High School. They're up 20-0 at the break. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Second half play-by-play from beautiful Berrien Springs comes your way after this on the 46th Game of the Week. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. Normally before the second half, we'd start with a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo's up here tonight. We're looking at Mark Fry. What kind of adjustments can he make to get his team back in the game?
I think the biggest thing is up front with that offensive line. They need to scheme block a little bit better, make sure they give Legault a little bit more time, and maybe diversify the offense a little bit more rather than just trying to take some deep routes. And I think with Niles, I think the biggest thing they need to do is keep rubbing that lucky rabbit's foot, because it's been paying off in that first half.
Every bounce, every call seemed to go Niles' way. Not that they didn't come out and earn some things. Paul Hess has had a magical first half, 6 carries, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And if that keeps up, he'll be talking to you on the postgame.
That's definitely, I know him coming out from the tunnel there with the eye black on. He was definitely wanting to talk.
You and he can compare makeup tips. Ezra Vance with the foot to it, and Leland Payne takes it back at his 2. Payne up the middle of the field and carries tacklers with him out to the 30-yard line. Good field position for Buchanan to begin the second half. For Connor Legault, though, he's got to find a way to connect. He has had 7 straight incompletions here to end the first half.
And I think a lot of it is some of his receivers as well. They need to find the open routes. A lot of times when you're running routes, you just run the same thing over and over. If you got a team that really prepares for you, they're going to make sure that they stay in those lanes and make sure that they close those lanes down so you don't have those passing lanes. Full house backfield.
And they'll give it off to Nico Finn, and he gets rocked as he hits the hole. As Talon Bennett, no, it was, it looked like it might have been a player we don't have on the roster, number 4.
No gain on the play, brings up second down, 10 to go.
And it'll be no gain for Nico Finn, who had a tough first half run of the football. He now has 6 carries for -2 yards tonight.
Buchanan again coming out with that full house backfield, change of a look.
Blitz coming, they give it off, and it's Jack Ruth on the carry, and Ruth bowls his way forward for 6 yards. That is the biggest carry of the night so far for the Bucks. Ruth, a 5'10" senior, a member of that Buchanan baseball team that won the state title. And so now 3rd and 4, and maybe Mark Fry challenging his offensive line that they've got to be able to move Niles off the ball here. Full house. Nico Finn slashing through, gets the first down up to the 41-yard line. So Buchanan comes out of the chute playing power football here in the second half, and a first down sponsored by Selge Construction.
Selge Construction is a proud sponsor of Buchanan football on TV 46 Sports. They've served the Michiana community since 1960 and have a team with exceptional experience and industry knowledge. Selge Construction, quality work in the safest way possible.
1st and 10, and again that full house backfield that Bo mentioned. Now it's Ruth slashing off the left side, and he picks up 4. So Jack Ruth, who did not have a carry in the first half, all of a sudden comes out moving the ball forward.
I think one of the biggest things, too, is what you can do with a type of offense like this is you can start wearing down that defensive line just a little bit more at a time, and maybe that will open up later in the game some ability to open up the passing game.
It's Nico Finn off the left side, no blocking that time, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Boy, every time Finn is carried, Sam Rucker has been right there with him, and he makes the stop once again. Both Nico Finn and Talon Brawley very impressive in their interviews at halftime as our student athletes of the week.
What usually happens when you have student athletes.
2 guys with GPAs of 4.0 or above. 3rd and 6. Legault, play action, bootleg, and it worked to perfection as he's got the first down up to the 47. Boy, you rarely see the naked bootleg ran, and Legault did a beautiful job of executing it that time.
Well, not only did it a great job of executing, you can see a great job here on Frame Products Instant Replay, but lowering his shoulder and picking up that first down because he didn't quite have it until he lowered the shoulder and went through the defender.
And we've got an injured Viking down on the field as the leg cramps start on this 80-degree night in southwest Michigan.
Vite Greenhouse on Redbud Trail has all the flowers you need to decor your home for fall. Stop by this week for a large variety of mums, asters, fall pansies, and they have perennial sales. Vite Greenhouse on Redbud Trail, 2 miles just south of US 12.
And while Buchanan has this drive going, remember last week they put 46 on the board against Saugatuck. That's the most Buchanan has scored in an opener in a decade. So the fact that Niles was able to post a shutout in the first half, pretty solid work by the Niles Vikings.
Yeah, just a great job of scheming and a great job of really understanding what their job assignment was in the first half.
You see a little bit of a red splotch there on the arm of Connor Legault's sleeve. As you take a look at Braylon Schultz hobbling off the field with that cramp. Now the cornerback comes out, so you wonder, does Niles try to attack that? But they're having success running the football here, and they'll give it off again, this time to Kyle Lewis. And Lewis is able to carry the football for about a couple of yards.
Because they had forward progress for a couple of yards there before he got pushed back in the backfield.
So Kyle Lewis Shedler, 5'11", 185-pound junior with the carry that time. And it's 2nd and 8. Beautiful look at Sylvester Stadium, a facility that opened up in 2020, but it's been on this site for over 80 years. Here's Nico Finn on the power sweep and nowhere to go. Boy, they have really targeted Finn tonight. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Caden Garrett comes over and makes the hit.
What a great facility they have up here, and just the opportunity for these 2 teams to come play on a neutral site, and Berrien Springs allowing them to come here and play on this turf and this facility is just amazing.
When they redid the facility, they wanted to make it multi-sport. There's a soccer field drawn on here as well. Of course, the marching band can practice, but they kept the shamrock tree down at the left end zone out by the main corridor. Here's Nico Finn blasting off the left side. He gets up to the 42-yard line. So Buchanan's looking at a 4th and 5 right here after Rucker made the tackle. And it'll be an interesting call here. Legault has not thrown a pass here in the second half.
Going on 5 minutes on this drive already.
But taking time off the clock without points is not what Buchanan's looking for here. So they'll go to the gun and 5 wide. Legault delivers. It is caught. First down for Buchanan. Dylan Oatsvall makes the catch, the 6'3 senior. And that's his first grab of the night. Comes at a critical time for Buchanan, 7 yards and a first down.
You can see a great job on the Frame Products instant replay, getting past the yard marker needed, coming back for the ball just a little bit and picking up that big first down. Sustaining the drive, sustaining the drive.
First down sponsored by Selge Construction. As Bo mentioned, over 5 minutes off the clock here on this opening drive, but Niles still with a 20-0 lead. Buchanan, full house action. It's an end around to Thomas Van Overberg, but he's tripped up by Sam Rucker. What a play by Rucker to get him right around the ankles for no gain, and you'll get another look here from Frame Products.
That play almost got broken up right from the start as they got in the backfield and really broke everything up and disrupted everything. So the pursuit wasn't quite over pursued because the play got broken up in the backfield.
Van Overberg, 6'3", 160. Once he gets going, he's tough to catch, but Rucker made sure he didn't get past the line. Movement along the line of scrimmage, that'll be 5 yards against Niles.
Redbud Health Services is Southwest Michigan's preferred physical therapy provider for post-operative and return to sports rehabilitation, with state-of-the-art fitness and aquatic facilities available to assist you throughout your rehabilitation journey. Located within the Redbud Fitness and Lifestyle Center behind City Hall in Buchanan. Find us online at redbudhealth.com.
6 penalties, 73 yards now for the Niles Vikings. And on 1st and 5, it's a quick hitter with Kyle Lewis Schedler up the middle, and he'll pick up 9 and another Buchanan first down, sponsored by Selge Construction. It is almost as though Mark Fry has revamped his entire offense at halftime.
Yeah, you talk about making some adjustments. Well, let's just throw out our offense and let's put a new one in. But you know, the way they're running this offense, it's something that they've worked on in
absolutely
the preseason, the offseason. A lot of times this is your goal line offense, so maybe that's what they're just running here is their goal line offense the whole time.
And it's Nico Finn off the left side, using those legs to plow forward, but he only gets about a yard. Finn tonight, 11 carries, 8 yards. That's the kind of job the Niles defensive line has done.
Yeah, that defensive line really clogging stuff up, allowing those linebackers to get pressure and get up and make the tackle.
And they're able to rotate some people in. Malachi Burris, a freshman, has come in. And when you look at this Niles roster, okay, you see freshmen on rosters all the time. There's 6. But they have 3 in their offensive starting lineup.
Yeah, and sometimes it just depends on the quality of the kid and the athlete and the drive that he has as well.
On 2nd and 9, it's Jack Ruth slashing off. And Ruth carries it up to about the 16-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 4 on the play for Ruth.
Horizon Realty Group is proud to support the Niles versus Buchanan football game on TV 46 Sports. Kyle Zelmer and his team are natives of Southwest Michigan, and they're market experts. If you're ready to list or buy, they'll put their expertise to work for you. Find them at moveyourhorizon.com.
Well, it's not a running clock game, but boy, the third quarter has been played like one. 7 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock here on this drive. Buchanan yet to put points on the board, looking at 3rd down and 4. Legault on play action, has Oatsvall open in the end zone, and it is caught for a buck touchdown. Dylan Oatsvall, the 6'3 senior, goes up and hauls it in, and Buchanan is on the board. For Connor Legault, the 25th touchdown pass of his career, as he went into double coverage, and Oatsvall went above everybody to haul it down.
That height advantage that we talked about before the game really paid dividends right there as he went up for that ball and was able to jump over the defenders and really outreach them on that play.
Buchanan, like Niles, goes for 2. And illegal motion. Who moved first? Was it Niles or Kyle Lewis?
Almost looked like the defensive lineman jumped off before the offensive lineman or running back moved, but a lot of times they're just going to call that on the offense regardless.
And indeed, It is against the offense. So another penalty against Buchanan, their 7th of the night. That'll change your 2-point play call. So now they'll have to go for it from about the 8-yard line. Van Overberg was not in the game before. He checks in and goes wide to the top of your screen. And Legault looking that way, throws to the left side, but it's too far for Leland Payne. And Niles holds on the 2-point conversion, but Buchanan took 7:57 off the clock, and Connor Legault found Dylan Oatsvall for the score. The Bucks are on the board, still trailing 26 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to us in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. And Connor Legault, well, he is legit. 25 touchdown passes now in his brilliant career, including 3 in last week's game and 1 here tonight.
Yeah, in order to come back in this game, I think he's going to have to throw a couple more in this game as well. That full house backfield definitely worked for them to be able to sustain a drive, get down and get some points, but it took 8 minutes off the clock. 3 8-minute drives, you're not going to have enough time to score and keep and to win this ball game.
And there you see Legault. You could see the blood on his sleeve earlier as they're taping that up. Leland Payne gets ready to kick it off for Buchanan. Legault appears to be okay, just bloodied up a little bit. The kickoff sponsored by McCarty Well Drilling. A high spinner that drives Means Fluellen back to his 10, and Julian Means Fluellen graded rather rudely by Kyle Lewis Shedler.
McCarty Well Drilling is a family-owned business in Buchanan and has served Southwest Michigan since 1950. They provide residential wells and service, irrigation wells, and geothermal drilling. Fully licensed and insured for your safety. Contact them for a free estimate at McCartyWellDrilling.com.
Scott Shaw talks with his offense there on the sidelines. Talon Brawley making sure he has the play. This is Niles' first possession of the second half. Brawley with plenty of time as Sam Rucker comes on to join him on the field.
Again, most things went Niles' way in that first half. We'll see how this first drive goes, and if something bad happens, how they react to it.
Can the Buchanan defensive line come up with a big stop here? They do manage to make a tackle about 2 yards after the line of scrimmage, as they were able to bring down Paul Hess. So Hess with his shortest carry of the night, only a pickup of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Hess now 7 carries, 111 yards. Helps when you get 76 on your first carry of the game.
It sure does.
And that really set the tone of this game.
Yeah, I think it put a little bit of shockwaves to the Buchanan sidelines, that first play, the big run like that.
And gave Niles a huge boost of confidence. Brawley pitches outside. Means Fluellen trying to round the corner. He is knocked out of bounds, and it looks like he picked up the first down up at the 29-yard line.
Great job by Sam Rucker on that, sustaining his block. You can see this on the great replay by Frame Products. He gets outside here. You can see Rucker right there in front, really sustaining that block for a long time for him to pick up that first down.
That forced Nico Finn to come over and make the hit on Means Fluellen. We've got a injured player down on the field, right in front of the Niles sideline.
Looks like it might be another cramp. Looks like they're pulling that leg up as well.
So Scott Shaw talking things over with his quarterback, Talon Brawley. We talked about Scott taking a few years in Indiana. He spent 5 years as the head coach at Elkhart Memorial. And then when the two Elkhart schools merged into one, Josh Shattuck got the Elkhart job. And Scott took a little time off, watched his son Kyle coach for a little bit up at Edwardsburg. Then Kyle moved down to Mishawaka. Right about that time, the phone rang, and Niles was looking for a head coach.
You can see the Niles player hobbling off the sidelines. Definitely a cramp again.
It's a long way over to the bench off that sideline. So it looks like Logan Olson is the injured player, and he is writhing in pain right now on the trainer's table. 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Vikes. They lead it 20-6. Brawley wanted to hand it off. There was nobody to hand it to, and he's lucky it didn't get stripped away. Legault came in and made the hit.
That was one of those where he was focused on his key, which is the defensive end. He's got the ball out there, and he's waiting for the running back to come through and kind of read, and there was no contact there. And then at the last second, he's like, you know what, I better tuck this down.
The clock right now, though, Niles' friend, and he was able to stay in bounds. Second and 10. Play clock finally down to 10. Brawley hands it off to the second man through. That's Means Fluellen, and he picks up about 3 yards. Host of tacklers there to meet him from Buchanan. And it'll be 3rd and 6. Means Fluellen, not a bad rushing night. 7 carries, 45 yards. Pretty similar to his numbers from last week.
Yeah, he's done a great job of really hitting the corner and being a counterproductive guy with Hess, just being that speed guy for the outside, Hess on the inside. They have to make sure that they play for both of those guys.
3rd down. Brawley gives it off to Hess. He's got running room on the right side, and the 1st down and more as Hess is ridden out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Pick up a 14 for the Niles fullback and a 1st down for the Vikings.
We talk about how quick he is to get to that outside. He gets just to that little corner and then turns on the speed. He's able to outrun the defensive end outside linebacker on that end and just pick up those big yards.
Kyle Lewis over there to make the hit out of bounds. But Niles now with a little bit of momentum on this drive. Only a minute 29 left here in the 3rd quarter. And while the drive was valuable for Buchanan, putting points on the board, it took so much time. You mentioned earlier, you can't afford those kind of possessions, and you got to be able to get the ball back here.
Yeah, you need to have a big turnover. I think that's one of the biggest things here. Is you can't allow Niles to have a drive like they are right now and really just eat clock away and move down the field slowly and eating that clock. And we're almost to the 4th quarter now. And Buchanan's got to come up with that big turnover.
Well, Brawley has done a pretty good job of holding on to the ball tonight. He's had a couple of bad center quarterback exchanges. He had the one bad handoff with Hess that bounced back into his hands. He's looking at a 2nd and 7 here. Under a minute to go in a lightning fast 3rd quarter. It's Brawley, and he's got nowhere to go. Dylan Oatsvall was there to greet him at the line of scrimmage. A key 3rd and 7 coming up, but the good news for Scott Shaw is if he plays his cards right, he won't have to worry about it until the 4th quarter.
Great job of really time management and getting that clock down underneath to the 4th quarter, running this timeout.
Yeah, Niles showing no interest in getting the play out there. And you can't blame them. Yes, the 3rd quarter went a little bit towards Buchanan's way as they scored their 1st touchdown. But time is on Niles' side right now because they will hold a 14-point lead as we go to the 4th quarter here at Sylvester Stadium. The 35th renewal of this Southwest Michigan rivalry has the emotions running high on this September night, and so are the Niles Vikings. They're up 20-6. Let's go to the 4th on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They've been making our communities brighter since 1914. Mark Fry and Buchanan made some adjustments in the third quarter, but now as we go to the fourth, Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt up in the booth. Obviously, you know that Buchanan's got to get a stop here, but what do they do after that? Because they can't afford a drive like they had the last time.
Well, I think it's important to get the stop and get the next score. After that next score, then you might have to change it up a little bit. You can, still have another, 6-7 minute drive, but you got to stop them right here in this series. You can't let them pick up another first down and take another 2-3 minutes off the clock like they are right now.
Yeah, Talon Brawley on the quarterback sweep. 3rd and 7 becomes a first down deep in Bucks territory at the 20. The longest run of the night for Brawley. It's good for 28, and you get another look from Frame Products.
Really a great job of the offensive line really blocking, taking everybody inside. He's able to hit the corner, doesn't even have to use his pitch man, and picking up the huge first down and getting down into the red zone.
And we mentioned this earlier. There are no seniors on this Niles offensive line. They have 2 juniors, a sophomore, and 2 freshmen at the guard spots, and yet they have been able to move the football at will on the ground tonight, well over 200 yards rushing. I formation this time, fumble, and they're still loose, and Buchanan has it. There is the turnover that the Bucks needed. And the Buchanan Bucks pounce on the football as Caden Legault, the cousin of the quarterback, picks up the loose change. First turnover of the night for the Vikings.
Looked like the handoff exchange, just like the one earlier in the first half. Didn't quite get it in the belly, and it looked like Hess tried to close with his hands rather than his arms to come down around that ball. It just didn't have a clean handoff.
Caden probably hadn't been that happy since he had the lightweight grand champion pig at the Berrien County Youth Fair. On 1st and 10. Buchanan seizes the momentum and gets a nice first down run of about 6 yards from Nico Finn.
Niles Nutrition is healthy and sweet. The best nutritional shakes, smoothies, and juices with enough flavor options to satisfy anyone. Enjoy your family-friendly storefront located in Niles at 1946 11th Street.
Appreciate them being on the team tonight. 2nd and 4. Legault hands it off on the right side. And Buchanan able to run for the first down, it appears. Sponsored by Selge Construction. That looked like Leland Payne that time for the first down.
It's like this full house offense like we've talked about is really starting to wear on that Niles offensive line, because now instead of just kind of grinding down the field, they're picking up bigger chunks of yardage at a time.
At what point are you thinking about maybe play action and trying to bomb here?
I think you just keep going until it works, at that point. A lot of times you'll try it on a first down play.
Like now?
Yep, there you go.
And it's Thomas Van Overberg able to make the reception, but Niles tackles him down at the 33-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. 4th catch of the night for Van Overberg, and you get another look here from Frame Products. The pressure coming through, and Legault did a good job to find his favorite target.
Yeah, that was a great job because the pressure was there early. But you notice how the pressure, when it came in, it kind of hesitated a little bit because they're trying to be aware of that running game.
Now Legault hands it off, and Leland Payne gets smacked pretty good, but he has the first down and more, up over the 40 to the 41. Payne with the longest run of the night for Buchanan, an 8-yard pickup, and another first down sponsored by Selge Construction.
St. Andrews Products supplies our crew with the finest in monogrammed apparel, and they help your team look great too. Promotional products, advertising specialists, business gifts, and much more. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Kyle Lewis up to the 50, and all of a sudden the Bucks are cooking. Alex Cole may have saved a touchdown with his tackle at the midfield stripe, and it's 2nd and 1.
Again, you see the pace of Buchanan here. They understand that they're running the ball, so they got to keep this pace because they're still down with 2 scores.
And they're going to get 5 free ones here in a first down, sponsored by Selge Construction.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of the high school athletics. They're the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. We specialize in process components for major industries, including aerospace, medical, and military and defense. IFT is excited about over 60-year history and looking forward to the challenges ahead. At Imaginary Finishing Technologies, quality is a way of life.
On 1st and 10. Buchanan now starting to feel it. You can see it in their body language as Finn slices off 7 there. And it's just when Buchanan breaks the huddle, the sprint up to the line of scrimmage, and the body language of Niles looking maybe a little worn down right now.
You can see the defense kind of just standing there, their hands on their hips. They're taking some deep breaths. They're just getting worn down.
They've been on the field a lot here in this second half. 2nd and 3, Jack Ruth, quick hitter. Looks like he might have the first down at the 35. It's sponsored by Selge Construction.
Yep, they're waving it on, giving them the first down. 1st and 10 at the 35.
First down, Buchanan.
Keep looking at that clock, bottom right corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard, 8:35 and counting in regulation. Full house backfield is what Buchanan has used throughout the second half. Legault, play action, throws out in the flat. He was looking for Nico Finn. He was smart to throw it where he did because Julian Means-Fluellen was thinking pick 6.
The pressure came in early and often on that play, but he had guys deep, open deep on that play, but wasn't able to really get anything into it. It's kind of a smart play just to throw that in the ground.
Legault tonight, 9 out of 23 for 63 yards. Mark Fry hoping his team can find a way to dent the end zone quickly here with 8:21 left. Looking at a 2nd and 10. And a timeout called by Buchanan. Mark Fry furious, but he had the wrong alignment out there. 8:21 to go in regulation. Buchanan threatening, down by 2 scores on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Mark Fry and his Buchanan Bucks over on the sidelines. They're trying to reestablish some winning ways. Both of these teams have had hard times in recent years. Buchanan with just 1 winning season the last 6 years. Niles with just 2 since 2003. 2nd and 10. Legault fakes the pitch. In trouble. Fires in the flat, too high for Nico Finn.
Buchanan going away from the running game the last 2 plays. Now brings up a big 3rd down and 10 here at the 35.
But you're definitely in 4-down territory, so you could think about doing a running play here, especially if you feel like Niles is now looking for the pass.
Yep.
And they do. Legault handed it off to the first back through. That was Jack Ruth. And Ruth churns forward for 3. So now it's 4th and 7 and one of the more pivotal downs in this football game.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one because you don't really want to run the dive up the middle. You want to run more of a power play where you got more blockers or some type of bootleg action.
You're not going to run bootleg out of the shotgun.
Not out of the shotgun. Back to the shotgun, 5 wide. Little slant route.
He does throw out to Dylan Oatsfall, and he's got the first down. Oatsfall all the way down to the Niles 18. It's sponsored by Selge Construction. Big pickup of 14 yards and a first down.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where the employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushcore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit reschcor.com. That's rushcore.com.
Another Niles player down on the field cramping, so we'll take a moment to remind you that next week, a 1-game week on TV 46, and it's in the Northern Indiana Conference Small School Division as the John Glenn Falcons, who have started the season 2-0, had a big game with St. Joe Friday night. take on the Jimtown Jimmies, and we'll have it for you from Walkerton Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
Niles Nutrition can help you kick that coffee with their nutritional energy teas packed full of flavor. An energy tea from Niles Nutrition will give you the energy you need minus the crash. Swing by before work or school, opening at 6 a.m.
Bridgman looking very dominant in 8-man football this year. The Bees, I believe, now have 18 straight wins as they win tonight 60-12. And we're checking to see if there are any other finals from Michigan that we can report. Brandywine certainly bounced back nicely. They beat Cassopolis handily tonight. Rangers have fallen on hard times, but good for Justin Kinsey as he gets his first win as coach of the Bobcats.
Well, we talked about that game last week when we were doing it. I mean, being on your fourth quarterback by the time we ended that game really had a lot to do with them, you know, in that situation.
Here it's 20-6 in favor of the Niles Vikings. We have 7:36 to go in regulation. Niles had a 20-0 halftime lead, and Buchanan has made the sweet music here in the second half, not just the Pride of Four Flags band here, because Niles saw Buchanan just completely change its offense here in the second half. But while they continue to tend to the injured player, we'll take a break. 7:36 to go, 20-6 Niles on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, partnering with the PGA and with 46 Sports. The injured player has left the field. 1st and 10 for Buchanan. It's Connor Legault on the bootleg again. Legault down the sideline, steps out of bounds, about a yard short of the first down at the 9.
Great run by Legault, getting the outside. Good bootleg, really getting out there, picking up 9 yards, other than giving the first down, actually. Give them first down and goal from the 9-yard line.
So on 1st and goal, Legault looking for the end zone, fires out there, and there's nobody there. Buchanan looking for a flag, but wouldn't get the call on the incompletion. But it stops the clock with 7:21.
Buchanan really controlling this whole second half, really just dominating the ground game. Niles only one possession so far.
It has been a remarkable turnaround here in the second half. 2nd and goal. Legault gives it off. I believe that's Ruth carrying tacklers. Did he get in? No signal. Touchdown, Buchanan. Buchanan with the touchdown. It was Leland Payne, 22, that carried it in.
An important extra point or 2-point conversion here, Chuck, as they're down 8 right now. And if they do not convert, they can only tie the game with their next score and a 2-point conversion.
I was right about one thing. Jack Ruth was critical on the play because he got the block that sprung Payne to the end zone. And we have another Niles player down on the field with a cramp. So let's look at another angle here from Frame Products as Leland Payne gets his first touchdown of the night and his second of the season. Pretty good job of blocking, not only by the offensive line, but by the backs, both Jack Ruth and Nico Finn with key blocks on the play.
Actually, that's a great view right there because he actually lost the ball for a second, had to make a readjustment with his other arm, and almost lost it there at the end zone.
So you mentioned huge 2-point conversion here for Buchanan. The Bucks down by 8. They're going to go 5 wide with Legault in the gun. Legault looks right, throws, it's intercepted. Julian Means-Fluellen. This could be 2 points. No, it can't, not in high school.
Yeah.
In college, yes, but not in high school. That would be big.
It would have been, if that was able to be 2 points in high school, that actually would have put it back to a two-score game.
Yeah. But Means-Fluellen No, it was Alex Cole. My apologies to Alex. 7, not 1.
20 Niles, 12 Buchanan.
So Alex Cole with the big play there as he gets the pilfer on the 2-point conversion.
But regardless, it was a huge play. Down 8, they have to score and get the 2-point conversion just to tie Niles. And of course, Niles now has the ball. They had a pretty decent drive, their first and only possession here in the second half.
7:11 to go in regulation. The Niles Vikings looking for their first win of the season and their 26th all-time against their neighbors, the Buchanan Bucks. Meanwhile, the Bucks, when they won this game in 2020, that was their first win against Niles since 1966. Now, it's not like they had played every year in there. There had been a big gap in the series. But still, Buck wins in this series have been few and far between. And so they like nothing better than to have a memorable comeback win on TV 46.
A lot of time, Buchanan with 2 timeouts still. But in this situation, do you go ahead and maybe try the onside kick?
No, Scott Frost, you do not. Leland Payne will do the booting. Julian Means-Fluellen is the deep man. The kick sponsored by McCarty Well Drilling. They did try the onside kick, and Niles recovers it at the 46.
I had a inkling that might be coming about
Apparently
right there.
you did, but the result's the same as it was for Scott Frost in Nebraska as Dylan Garris was able to make the recovery.
It almost bounced right off of his chest. It did for a second there, hit the ground, but he was able to hold on to it. If they would have got down there just a touch sooner, they would have probably knocked that ball out of his hands.
Instead, Niles has it at the 45. And so now, a turnover last time, critical to Niles, as they turned it over deep in Buck territory. They'll go with an I formation here. Brawley hands it off. Corian Parks spins down at the 48, a pickup of 7 on the play.
Picks up 7. Brings up
Parks with only his 2nd carry of the night. And Niles, of course, will take its time and try to bleed the play clock on every play here. Looking at a 2nd and 3.
I believe Hess is on the sideline now, cramping up as well.
And that is a tough loss for Niles because he is one of their key 2-way players. But Parks did a good job running the football that time. We'll see what he does here. He's a 3-sport athlete. They give it to him again, and he crashes for the first down to the 44-yard line. So it's truly Parks and Rec against the Buchanan defense here. Niles moves the ball, trying to protect this 8-point lead. Talon Brawley, you met him at halftime, much greater understanding of the offense, and this his 2nd year of running the triple option. His decision-making has been very good tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I really like the way they're able to get other guys involved as well and not just 1 or 2 guys in the offense.
Parks lost the football. Buchanan has it.
The handoff again exchanged. The 3rd time tonight, the handoff exchange, 3 center quarterback exchanges. But here in the second half, twice now led to turnovers.
Jackson Seddon with the fumble recovery, and you'll get another look at it here from Frame Products. Exactly what Bo was talking about. The handoff never got secured, and this time the bounce went Buchanan's way, right into the belly of Seddon. So now the Bucks have it at the 46. Jack Ruth pounded on as he meets Caden Garrett at the 48-yard line, a pickup of 2. They'll spot it at the 48.
Brings up 2nd down.
Actually, they put it back at the 47. So only give him one. Now it's Leland Payne who just found the end zone. He'll bring it up to about the 48-yard line. Only a pickup of one. And all of a sudden it's a 3rd and 8. Buchanan has had some huge conversions on 3rd and 4th down here in the second half.
Yeah, that Niles defensive line really starting to step up here late in the 4th quarter.
Dylan Oatsfall has had some big catches, but they're going to keep it on the ground here and plowing forward with Nico Finn up to the 47-yard line. So it's 4th and 3 for Buchanan, and another Niles player is down on the field with a cramp.
Picks up a couple yards, brings up 4th down and 3 to go.
It is a warm night, but I have to be honest, it seems like only one team is having problems with the cramping tonight, and that's Niles.
Yeah, that's one of the things where we talk about all the time when you see cramps. It's nothing that you can do the day of the game. It's something you have to prepare throughout the week. You have to get fluids in your body. You have to get that potassium. You have to really prepare for this heat. And it's been really hot this week as well.
So Buchanan will be looking at a 4th and 3 right here with only 4:34 left in regulation. They've been able to pick up 2 turnovers here in the 4th quarter, and we'll see if they can convert them. Meanwhile, we'll see if there's any other scores from around the state of Michigan to pass along as they play. We're recording this game on a Thursday night. Boy, Reggie Glon, the former Marion coach, and his Trenton team pick up another big win tonight as they beat Southgate Anderson 28-20. And then Landon Grove at Grand Rapids West Catholic. You know, they beat Edwardsburg on opening night. Ferndale was no problem tonight for GR West Catholic as they win at 43-0. I think he could be sitting on a pretty good team up there in Grand Rapids.
I agree.
It looks like the Niles player is going to be okay and able to walk off the field under his own power, so that's a good thing. So now you're Mark Fry. You're looking at 4th and 3. You've had success running the football, but your best player is probably your quarterback, Connor Legault. What do you go with here?
Well, I think the biggest thing you got to think about here is you actually have 2 timeouts remaining, still 4 minutes on the clock. So I don't think it's a do or die situation. You want to pick up the first down, of course, but it's not quite do or die yet.
It's a handoff. No, Legault kept in the backfield, and he loses 6 yards.
They were trying to run that bootleg in some key situations 2 other times in this game, and I guarantee you Scott Shaw told his defensive end, stay with Legault the whole time. You can see it, never hesitated, stayed with him the whole time.
Alex Cole did a great job from the cornerback position, coming on the inside that time. And you're right, he absolutely mirrored every move Legault made. So now Niles takes over 1st and 10 at the Buchanan 48 with 4:28 left. The Bucks do have 2 timeouts. Might be a little bit early to be using them, but Mark Fry's got to keep an eye on the clock right here. And the good news for Niles is I believe Alex Hess is back in the game. Or Paul Hess, excuse me. And it is Paul Hess on the carry. Up to the 41-yard line. That's a pickup of 7 on the play.
Got to be closing in on about 175 tonight.
Ooh, 132.
132 now.
On 9 carries.
Brings up 2nd down, 3 to go.
2nd and 3. You look at Hess, who has also had a monster first half on defense. He's been a little quieter here in the second half, possibly because of the style of play, and also because he did miss some time with some cramping issues.
Yeah, but no, the first half of his defensive play as well was just as superb as his offensive play.
2nd down and 3. Talon Brawley calls out the play at the line of scrimmage. Gives it to Hess. He secures the football, keeps the legs moving, but only got to the line of scrimmage. And Mark Fry is going to use one of his timeouts here with 3:26 remaining. So Mark Fry wants to talk it over. We'll take a break as well. 3:26 to go in regulation. Niles clinging to a 20-12 lead. Now's not the time to leave on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Just the very opposite of this football game here tonight, as Niles clings to a 20-12 lead, looking at a huge 3rd and 3 against Buchanan. Hess, the fullback. It's Brawley keeping it. Brawley got the first down. He's up to the 38-yard line. Pickup of 4. He needed 3. Talon Brawley with some clutch carries tonight. 11 rushes, 56 yards. And they'll move the chains. So Scott Shaw will talk things over with his junior quarterback. And now the key here for Niles is ball security. Can the Vikes run off the final 3 minutes of this one? Sam Rucker gets set on the near side. Play clock right around 10. It's Hess. Hess off the right side. Nothing but green. Turns in front of him. Touchdown, Niles. 38-yard scamper, his 3rd TD of the night. Ten carries, 170 yards, and yes, young man, 3 scores. It is a game that Paul Hess will not soon forget. The sophomore coming up big tonight. And Niles will go for 2. Scott Shaw, 241 away from career win number 226. 3 wide out. Brawley looking to throw. Fires, and he's got his man. Sam Rucker with the 2-point conversion, and it's 28-12. But let's get another look at this touchdown run from Hess and check out the blocking for him off that side. What a job by that offensive line. Jim Gaia, the center, moving people out of the way, along with Brandon Hamilton and Riley Collin, and what a job by Hess tonight, running for 170. And a lot of jubilation on the Niles sideline. There was a lot of question about this Viking team after that 15-0 loss to Sturgis. But Scott Shaw said emotion had to be a big part of this football game for Niles. They had to play with their hair on fire, and they have throughout the night. Hess had a big 76-yard touchdown run to get things started on the first play from scrimmage. And the defense, while challenged here in the second half, has been able to rise to the occasion enough. And Paul Hess might be grinning for a long time down there on the Niles sideline. He'll be talking with Bo Hunt unless Buchanan can pull off a miracle here in the last 2:41. High spinning kick will be taken by the up man Ruth at the 15. Jack Ruth found some running room on the left side. Stiff arms a tackler and goes to the 42. Nice return for the Buck running back. And you have to imagine now it's going to be a little trip to El Paso for Buchanan. With 2:31 remaining, and you need 2 scores. But it has not been a good night throwing the football for the Bucks. They only have 77 yards passing in 26 attempts. Connor Legault will go from the shotgun. Test time for the Niles secondary. Legault runs out of time, and down he goes. At the 35, a loss of 5. Jim Gaia got him. And Samarian Love coming in there. Love, the big 6'2", 230-pound senior. Second and 15 for the Bucks, now under 2 minutes to go. A valiant comeback for Buchanan. Comes up short here in the second half as Hess stuck the dagger in with that touchdown run. Legault again with a 5 wide. Finds Van Overberg, and it was low on the bubble screen. Well covered by Sam Rucker anyway. And this Buchanan offense, which exploded for 491 yards last week, has been held below 200 yards tonight. So a great job by Scott Shaw's defense. Third down, Legault gets his man this time and still on his feet, pick up a 14. It'll be 4th and 1 as it was Dylan Oatsvall who made the catch, and now Oatsvall has a little bit of a cramping issue and he'll go down.
Brings up 4th down and 1 to go.
Well, in these warm conditions, as Bo Hunt mentioned earlier, you got to hydrate all throughout the week. It has been a hot week in Michiana, and Mark Fry knew his team would be up for a challenge tonight. Bo Hunt down on the field, and Bo, as you're down there, you see these continued cramping issues. What are some of the things that you always told your baseball players, or what you heard from your coaches, and how to handle these kind of things during the week?
I think the biggest thing was always getting fluids in your body, always drinking. When you go to your meal and have your dinner or whatever, your lunch, you always drink fluids first, actually to get the fluids in your body and not just the food. The weight gain and stuff like that you always wanted was preseason, not during the season. So you always want to get fluids in your body, really replenishing those, and always watching your weight. Every day we had to weigh in and weigh out, so you didn't want to be losing too much of the fluids in your system because you always want to keep those in there. And always eating your fruits and vegetables. The biggest thing was bananas. We always ate bananas all the time. And vitamin C, getting that in your system.
Well, the bananas certainly helping supply the potassium. That's one of the things that leads to these cramps. As Oatsvall is now on his feet, that's the good news. The bad news for Buchanan is they have to pull one of their better players off the field for 4th and 1 with 1:17 left. Buchanan will have a matchup with Dowagiac next week. Meanwhile, for Niles, they got the challenge of taking on the Edwardsburg Eddies, who I believe came up with a last-minute win over Three Rivers tonight by a count of 38-30. So 4th and 1 for Buchanan. A lot of noise here at Sylvester Stadium in Berrien Springs. Legault on the quarterback sneak has the first down to keep the game alive. In fact, he plows forward for 5. First down sponsored by Selge Construction. Vicksburg down Sturgis tonight by a count of 42-7. And the Eddies do indeed beat Three Rivers 38-30 tonight. So Kevin Bartz's squad now 1-1 on the year as they take on the Vikings next week. Speaking of next week, a reminder again, Indiana High School football for you on TV 46. Former Northern State Conference foes now in the NIC Small School Division. Jimtown and John Glenn should be a head knocker down in Watkinson. We get to see Corey Stoner and John Barron, so it'll be a fun week for us talking to a couple of quality guys. We'll have it for you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. First and 10 from the 46. And you got to figure Legault's going to the air here. Legault throws it out to Kyle Lewis, who drops it. There have been a few of those tonight for Buchanan as well. Between the drops and then the fine play of the Niles secondary to break up some passes in this game. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10 to go for the Bucks.
Again, Legault from the shotgun. Has time, airs it out down the sidelines. It is caught. Thomas Van Overberg with his deepest catch of the night as he hauls it in down at the 15. Pick up of 33 for Van Overberg. And you get another look from our friends at Frame Products. One-on-one coverage, and Van Overberg beat his man, Talon Bennett. And really, that's the first time tonight you could say that about anybody in the Niles secondary. Legault lobs it for the end zone, and Van Overberg, did he catch this one? Yes, he did. No, they say he did not. And Van Overberg is hurt in the end zone. Helmet came off, so he has to leave the game. And let's get another look at this one from Frame Products, and you can make the call at home. Again, Bennett had the coverage. He goes up. He does not appear to make contact, and Van Overberg can't collect the ball as it hits his chest.
Second down, 10 to go for the Bucks.
The way he landed on his shoulder, I thought he was rolling over to protect the football. So Legault will throw again. He's going to try the same route with somebody else who gets tackled on his way to the end zone. That'll be 15 yards, or actually half the distance to the end zone. And now they have picked up the flag. Alex Cole and the flag came in from behind, and then they said the ball was thrown too far. Oh, now they're marking it off. So they do mark it off half the distance to the goal line, up to the 7. It'll be 2nd down again from there. Legault wants to throw. And it's knocked away and broken up nicely by Sam Rucker. Rucker, a 3-sport athlete, baseball player and a wrestler, just a great all-around athlete. He had coverage responsibilities that time and was up to the challenge. 3rd and 2. Legault calls the play in the huddle with 32 seconds left. Scott Shaw wondering, is there any way this clock could tick faster? Legault turns and hands it off. It's a run up the middle for Jack Ruth, and it's a run to the end zone for a touchdown. Jack Ruth powers it in from 6 yards out, and now Buchanan with a must-get on the 2-point conversion. You get another look at this one from Frame Products, as Ruth was able to bust through the line of scrimmage and use those strong legs to power his way to pay dirt. But to have a chance to win, Buchanan must convert here. Full house backfield behind Legault. It is Nico Finn. Nico Finn trying to get to the goal line. Nico Finn pushed back and did not make it. And that will definitely do it from here at Sylvester Stadium. 28-18, but with only 24 seconds left, this game is virtually over. We'll see the 2-pointer again here from Frame Products. Good misdirection, but a fine reaction there by the Niles defense, and they were able to push Finn back. It looked like it might have been Caden Lockery, the big senior, that came up with the stop there. So Mark Fry working on the sidelines there. He'll have some work to do this week, getting his team to regroup and get ready for the Dowagiac Chieftains. Meanwhile, Niles will feel pretty good about itself after watching this one. Yes, there's improvement that needs to be made, but they came away with a solid win here at Sylvester Stadium tonight. They go to 1-1 as they get ready for another neighboring game, taking on the Edwardsburg Eddies next week, and I believe that game will be up at Leo Hoffman Field in Edwardsburg. We'll see if Buchanan does try the onside kick here. Certainly Niles expects it. They have 10 men up by the 40-yard line. Scott Shaw instructing his team here. Leland Payne does the kicking honors for Buchanan. And Payne does try the onside kick, but Niles falls on it effortlessly, and the Vikings will walk out of here with the win. It's Logan Olson on the onside kick recovery, and all Talon Brawley has to do is take the snap in victory formation, and Niles will have its first win of the season. Very entertaining second half here at Sylvester Stadium tonight. Remember, Niles led this football game 20-0 at halftime. Buchanan got within 20-12, and then Paul Hess's third touchdown of the night was the final nail in the coffin for the Bucks, who go down 28-18. Brawley takes the snap, and this one is a fait accompli as the Niles Vikings even their record at 1-1, and they pick up their 26th victory all time over the Buchanan Bucks. The final score here in Berrien Springs tonight, Niles 28, Buchanan 18. Don't go anywhere. Our St. Joseph County Police Department post-game show comes your way next, including our player of the game and our electrical workers, Local 153 electrifying play of the game. All next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
Time now for the St. Joe County Police Department post-game show as we welcome you inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth after the Niles Vikings even their record at 1-1 on the season, knocking off their rival, the Buchanan Bucks, by a count of 28-18. Chuck Freeby high above the fray here at Sylvester Stadium. Really a tale of two halves tonight. Niles leading at halftime 20-0. Buchanan rallying in the second half, making the Vikings sweat a little bit until a third touchdown by our player of the game helps seal the deal. Bo Hunt is standing by down on Sylvester Stadium's field turf. He's chatting with our player of the game, Paul Hess.
Standing by with our player of the game, Paul Hess. 170 yards tonight on just 10 carries, 3 touchdowns. The big one coming early in the game, 76 yards. Your thoughts on this victory tonight?
I think we worked hard. I don't think we should have gave up that much points, but our line, they did good all night. They had their first steps down and everything. I just want to congratulate my whole team.
Not only offense, but defense as well. You guys come in, Buchanan 46 points last week, but your defense had a scheme against them tonight.
Yeah, we've been planning on it, just seeing what they do. They run a bunch of different stuff, so we had to plan on it each practice and get to know it well.
A lot of people look at the fullback position, they think of it more of a bruiser and everything like that, but you got a lot of speed out there as well.
Yeah, thank you. I've been working on it in the offseason, and it just paid off.
Got a big matchup next week with Edwardsburg. Thoughts on that?
I think it'll be a good game. They're tough. They run the same thing as Buchanan just did. I think it'll be a really good game.
Hey, congratulations. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And again, we welcome you back into the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby rejoined by Bo Hunt. I found it worth a chuckle that Mr. Hess appreciated your compliment on the speed. He certainly showed it in our electrical workers Local 153 electrifying play of the game, the first play from scrimmage tonight. And you take a look at what Paul Hess was able to do, getting around the left side, got some great blocking up front from his line, and once he was even, he was leaving.
Yeah, it was a great job of really getting through that first line. And there was no linebackers there, no DBs. Everybody came on the blitz, and he was able to bust through the hole. Great blocking, and way to finish it.
Chase Brawley with a big block on that play. You can't say enough about this Niles offensive line. No seniors. They're starting 2 freshmen. They move people off the ball.
I like the way they played their attitude out there just as a team. They really showed confidence in themselves, especially after last week, getting completely shut out last week, coming into this game. You know, where were they going to be? But they were really confident. They came out with a lot of attitude, and I liked it.
You wonder if Buchanan somehow may have taken Niles just a little bit lightly. The final score last week for Buchanan, they score 46. Niles gets shut out. Kids can't help but compare scores. The next thing you know, you're caught in a trap and you can't get out.
You're dealing with 15 to 18-year-old
Yes.
kids, so that's going to happen for sure.
So the big question now for the Bucks, can they regroup and make this the kind of season they think they should be able to have?
Well, I think the biggest things was they were able to make adjustments at halftime and just totally change their offense. So they're able to play at different paces, and I think they understand that now as a team. So they can go with the spread option, they can go with the full house backfield, and they can make those adjustments, and they're going to make those during the week and get better for sure.
Buchanan with Dowagiac next week. Niles ventures to Edwardsburg. And we will venture down to Walkerton next week for high school football between Jimtown and John Glenn. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who brought you this one, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and our talented crew of professionals that bring passion to the job each and every week. A reminder, college football on the radio next weekend has Indiana State at Purdue Saturday at 4, followed by Idaho and Indiana Saturday at 8 from Memorial Stadium. And then our high school game next week in Walkerton, the Jimtown Jimmies take on the John Glenn Falcons. You'll see it Friday night 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as we give you updates throughout the week. Now for my broadcast partner, the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Niles 28, Buchanan 18. So long from beautiful Berry and Spring.